What's up? All right, guys. I'm just waiting for this to boil over. So just chilling, just chilling. What's going on, guys? Stop there. Stop. Anytime you want to jump to coach it, uh, you want to have the homies come there. We're just hanging out right now. So today um, is going to be the first like official town hall debate. I don't exactly know all of what I'm going to do. I need to write some stuff down, get kind of a plan in order, figure out exactly what's going on. You know, this is something I want to start doing every Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Saturday. Sorry. That's the goal. That's the goal. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. What's up, Rude? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Go ahead and take that one down. So, I'm trying to build up this town hall debate, right? This is going to be something I want to do every Tuesday and Saturday. It's going to be open panel. Yes, Jess, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Really do appreciate it. Thanks everybody for jumping on in. Please have a seat. Grab yourself a water. They're all in the freezer. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. All right. So, looking for a pen, man. There's always yeah, I know. I meant to say the cooler, Marcus. I get it. Yeah. That was on me. Absolutely. But yeah, please, guys. I got the panel league pinned in the chat. So if y'all want to jump on in, come on in. Curveballs, you're more than welcome to jump in, my friend. Love to chat. Anybody want to come in? We can bullshit for a little bit. Yeah, Bill Hicks. Yeah. Let me get right on that, my friend. Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Are we not men? Bill Hicks, Rude Cunt Crab. Thank you all very much, man. I appreciate you all jumping in. It's good to see you. Rude, what's going on, my brother?
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, good. Just chilling, doing some shit on the computer for some motherfucker.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. So this town hall stuff. So you're gonna do open panel debates?
Yeah. JB Speaks, welcome in, bro. Good to see you. Yeah. So it's gonna be an open panel. I'm trying to. I want to come up with something new, right? I want to come up with something new, something that like other people aren't necessarily doing. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what direction to go with it. I wanted to have, either they're going to be on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so I wanted to do like either like politic kind of shit one day, and then the other day, kind of a random pull it out of the hat topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sounds alright.
Yeah. So
are you gonna have like voting? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have voting. I'm a retard, sorry.
well, we could, my thing is, I was talking to you and I talked to Abe so far about having judges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way, like talk to chat, see what the judges have to say, give good criticism where maybe someone can improve on something, or if someone did just absolutely flawlessly, or maybe like Tony Hinchcliffe Kill Tony style, where someone does really terribly enough, you just like roast the fuck out of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Fucking, it'll be interesting. That's for sure. You just need to figure out how to get your topics. Like, are you going to pick topics for people? Like, is it like a town hall thing? Is it just going to be everyone arguing with everyone? Or are you going to like, okay, these two people are arguing, I'll put them together for a fucking 5 minutes or whatever? Or are you going to try and do a grift sort of thing to get debates happening?
I could do something like that. Yeah. See, like, I'm so new to this space, man. I've only been around for like not even a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you, JB. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just let it. Bill, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're monetized, I'd be looking at like have two judges, and then have the chat as the swing vote, this three-way swing vote, and have them vote with their cash.
That is clutch, dude. Oh, I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, for sure.
So they super chat to vote, and whoever gets the most super chats for their debate, then that's who the chat vote goes to.
That's a good grift, bro. See, I'm so glad I asked you to be part of this thing, man.
Oh, you're good.
That's clutch. Yeah. So when it comes to format and that whole deal, fair, Marcus. That's a fair question, bro. If no one donates, what do you do? What do you do? Do I have to step in and be the tiebreaker?
Yeah, I guess host will have to be tiebreaker.
I'm the one that's gonna have to jump in and be like, "Hey, man, you sucked."
But then again, if no one's super chatting, surely someone who's in the debate's gonna super chat for themselves.
Fair, yeah, dude. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah. How much do you want to win? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
how much do you want to win? This is the town hall, after all. We all know how politics works. You know, you got to shed a little paper to make something happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Panchuchin, thanks for jumping in, brother. Appreciate you very much, bro. Appreciate you. Are we not men? That's shots fired from Are We Not Men there, brother.
I don't know how to grift. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you know, like I'm kind of in this position right now where I want to kind of just like do it,
Yeah.
and then see what it evolves into, right? Not yet, Marcus. Not yet. Not yet. That's what we're kind of like, you know. My channel isn't monetized yet. I'm working towards that. If I can get to that point, that's gonna be, you know, once I get to the point where this thing's monetized, it's like that's where people are actually gonna get incentives to win.
You barely even need incentives. People roll up to panels and get in arguments all the time over retarded bullshit.
Right. You know, I could even talk to Speakeasy and see if he could help me. Like, you know, make little people in the background of the winners or something. You know what I mean? What's up, Curveballs? Good to see you, bro.
Hey, what's up?
Not much, buddy. But yeah, so hey, Bill. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah, I really just kind of want to kick it off and see what direction it goes. You know, the big thing is Abe told me that he can get a bunch of lefties in here, which would be fantastic, dude. Because, you know, a bunch of our guys on the right definitely, you know, it's the more competition, the better, especially when we can get people that are left leaning. My big thing is, though, I don't want this to like devolve into like blood sport kind of thing. I would like to keep it at least somewhat civil, right? Where like you're actually debating the topic at hand instead of just going, you know,
That's just moderation.
Yeah, and that's going to come back on me, which is totally fine. I haven't actually done debate moderation necessarily, but I've chaired like meetings with people where, you know, I had to. What'd you do, Jess? What'd you mess up? You're good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You know what I was thinking on that topic? I don't know if other people are doing that because I only see a fraction of the internet. But I was thinking, like, when people are discussing things, they should get like a point deducted for like every like untruth thing they say, for every like rude thing they say, like for every like, I'm trying to think of the right word, but like an ad hominem attack would be -1.
Oh, soy.
You know, like for I could write a list of things, but I mean, there's a lot of things that we see every day that are just a waste of time. You know, attacking somebody or instead of the argument, or saying what the other person's argument is when it's not true. I'm still waking up. I freaking need some coffee. I'm not thinking of these words.
Get you some Joe. How about this? Like, and of course, like I'm just spitballing ideas here, right? But how about a sliding scale, 0 to 20? You start at 10. Okay. If you're doing ad hominem bullshit, if you make a really shitty argument or the other person like fucking slays you with one question and has you stumped, you lose a point, right? But the exact inverse, where you make a really good point that stumps the other person, you get a point. And then as that goes on, you know, each person is kind of aiming to get the higher score. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah. That's exactly where my mind is. I was just thinking, like, you know, the classic ad hominem. When you're, I know the list off the top of my head. Not right now, though. I'm just too tired. But yeah, you know the things that people do. The classical argument, just disingenuous arguments that they make.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that would be where the judges come in, you know. Because I was asking Rude. I trust his ability to stay moderate. You know what I mean? When it comes to, I don't want to say stay moderate necessarily, but kind of like, compartmentalize the way he feels about someone to judge things accurately. And the same thing with Abe. Abe can, like, me and him just debated earlier, dude. We fucking went at it, and afterwards it was like, dude, that was fun, So those are the kind of things where, Marcus. So what I was saying was like afterwards, when the debate's over, then you fucking roast people if they sucked. You know what I mean? Not like actually during the debate itself, right? Points deducted for being gay. That's crazy. Bill Hicks is shooting some. He's busting some shots at you there, Rude. What's
That's
up?
all right. He's never going to win a debate at Town Hall.
I'd like to have Bill Hicks on to debate, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I know. He has to get too drunk though to get on stream.
Fair.
He needs that Dutch courage.
I was like that at first, man. I haven't had a drink in a few days now, so it's been nice jumping in and not screaming. You know what I mean?
All right, here I did a Google search. I had to because my brain's just that tired today. So you've got your ad hominem, your appeal to authority, your appeal to, red herring, straw man. All of these could be potentials for a point deduction. Is the way I've been thinking about it for a long time now. But I don't see anybody doing it like that.
Yeah. Appeal to authority, and that's here. Hold on, let me get a pen real quick.
But these are things for the other side to discredit and show its flaws and weaken the other person's argument and win the debate. They're not things that someone should be stopped from doing in a debate. There's something that the opponent needs to stop. That's how you win a debate.
So it could be done a couple different ways, right? You could have one person who's the moderator who makes the decisions on where points are deducted or added.
Otherwise, it's not a debate.
Or you could have
it's just people showing each other research that they've done, and like you're just doing science at that stage. You're not doing a debate.
Yeah, but okay, you know how like there's a fight, boxing fight. They don't stop them for everything they do. They do sometimes they stop them, but not every time. But they do keep points, on what was done during the fight. So like you wouldn't want to stop every time there's an insult. You wouldn't want to stop them, but you'd want to take you'd want to mark that on the sheet. Okay, deduction. Because obviously they're losing the argument. You know what? I realize I'm not live right now. Am I talking like?
What?
Nothing. I got confused because I had YouTube on mute, so I was wondering if I was hearing like it in delay. But no, that's not it. Okay. But yeah, so there's two. You could take a point away like during the match, during the debate, but you could also have a list of points that are deducted when it's done.
But you don't need to. This is my point. These are things that the opponent gets to capitalize on. They're gaining momentum when they use these things. You don't have to keep points like that. If someone strawmans, a strawman's easy to pull apart. Like if you're good at arguing with someone. Like if they're doing these things that you're talking about, that's for the opponent to capitalize on. You shouldn't need to keep a point system.
Okay, the reason I think it's important is because they just keep going with their bullshit. They'll make up a lie about you, and there's really nothing you can do in the debate when that happens. It's like, okay, you say I'm whatever, you can't really argue that at the moment.
Yeah, that's for moderation to step in and say, attack the argument, not the person.
Right.
Some shit like that.
Hey, Curveball, can you like copy and paste what you just looked up and throw it in private chat or something?
Sure. All I did was do a Google search for common logical fallacies, and they overlap with debate a lot. You just see these things in every debate.
How's that, Jess?
Yeah. Just Google common logical fallacies as a start. Yeah. Straw man is the one I was trying to think of earlier. Like you can't really argue with somebody when they straw man you, so they should just get a point to do.
Yeah, you
what
can.
I think. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can make them look like an absolute retard too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess. I appreciate that. Yeah, because it's like you're up here debating and you don't even know what you're debating against. You fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like however you want to spin it. But
But that's what the propagandists rely on. They rely on these tactics to like make it so you
Yeah,
get
but you
sidestepped.
have, like, for me, I would prefer it if there was no doping testing in any sports. I'd prefer it if everyone could just use the gear and we could see the best athletes there are. Because you know what? Half of them are using the gear and not getting caught anywhere.
yeah,
Like, let people do this shit. Use moderation and let them come unstuck. Like, just let the best debater win. You don't need to, like, I don't know, babysit them and handhold them and try and make them be better people than they actually are. Just let them lose the debate under their own fucking strategies. Genesis 18:23. Nice.
yeah. That was this was just some stuff what I was doing for like some of this stuff. Right, this was like a PC build I had for a friend. I do a lot of stuff in Notepad. And while I do it, I just build it all up and then all right. So, what do you guys think of that sliding scale concept, where like for like a grading system, right?
I
What do you
personally
think?
think point systems are kind of meh. I don't think they're necessary. I think it's an
Okay.
overcomplication.
Well, I don't think they're necessary, but I think they do add, to the picture. So like, what I like is objective information, because like when you work amongst women, which I did all my life, everything's subjective with them. I do the best work factually, I know it, but it's really impossible to prove when they just
Be back in a
gaslight
second,
you
need a
and
drink.
say that
Yeah, do you
it's
think?
just not good because they feel that way.
Okay.
That's why I like math. Math is objective. So if anytime you can add something objective to a subjective topic, I think is a good thing. Some kind of objective
40,
measurement.
affirming the consequent. If it rains, ground will be wet. The ground is wet, therefore it rained.
Did you see I
Okay.
sent that in the private chat there on the StreamYard?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm not read up on fallacies like that. I mean, it probably would help me to be, yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's like every time I see a debate, people are bringing these fallacies up. Like, you just did this to me, you just did that to me. Just deduct the point. If it's true, just have the moderator deduct the point. You don't even have to talk about it.
maybe there's a way to have a wheel spin for interlocutors or topics. That's a good idea, bro. I need to figure out how to put that, like get something set up for that, so like you can spin it,
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the background music, are we not, men? All right. I'll turn it down. I'll turn it down a little more. That's fine. All right. Rude is that guy you work with that you don't like but can't help but like. The kind of guy you throw a sandwich at. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of. Marcus, do you know where I could get something? That's fair, are we not, man? That's fair. I can see where you're coming from with that. Do you know where I could find like a customized like digital spinning wheel or something like that?
I'll look while you. Yeah, I'll have to do with that. See if I can find something. Digital spinning wheel.
Yeah.
That should be easy to find, I think.
Because that's a really good concept. Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly, Bill. 100%. I'm trying to keep Are We Not Men happy because he's got a wrench and he knows how to use it. You know what I mean? That my man. Yeah, that'd be awesome,
Yeah.
Jet.
Oh my God, I found it right away. Go to spin. I'll put it in the chat, but it's spinthewheel.io.
Spinthewheel.io.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
You can put like it looks like seven options to put in there. I just sent you the link. That's easy to
Oh,
remember too.
clutch, dude. Okay, sweet. All right. All right.
I should be back now for a bit.
So let's. Series background music is the worst. I think fine shot using that. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me.
That's a great idea for like topics or something. Like have some topics in there. Or what are you thinking about? What are you planning on using that for?
So Marcus had brought it up for topics. That's a really good idea. I like that. I like that concept. I'd like to see if there's one like I could get that's custom, so it's less like
How about a punishment wheel? Like when somebody's like over talking everybody, you can say, "Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel on you."
Yeah, yeah,
We could
yeah.
do
You could
anything
do
from
that.
like a 5 minute mute to we could think of some things.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Like a well, I'd say probably like a 30-second mute, and just let the other person fucking lay into him. You know what I mean? Yes, Jess, you are. You are. You are. You, never mind. I was gonna say Jess is my Diddy, but let's not go there. You know,
Make her your Dre, your Dr. Dre.
debate of fortune. That's actually that's a cool. I like the direction you're thinking there, Mad Matt, for sure. All right. Okay. So today, give me some controversial topics here. Let's go controversial the first time. I want to. If Abe's going to bring a bunch of lefties in, I want them to. I want them to sweat a little bit on these topics. You know what I
Is
mean?
Abe a lefty? I didn't
No,
know that.
he just knows a bunch of them.
Is it true that the younger generation is low T? Is that true? I don't. I actually could Google that myself, but I was just wondering.
You kind of old and you sound low T, bro. So I don't know.
Actually, I did have my I have a testosterone. I'm not bragging, but I did have it tested because you have all those commercials about testosterone. So I went to my doctor and took a test and told you didn't have low T. But isn't the younger generation more low T?
I wouldn't have a clue.
I'll have to say it. I was just one for a debate thing. He was asking. Um,
It wouldn't
Whoa,
be
whoa,
a.
whoa! Wait, what? Hold on, hold on. I don't know what dude. I'm freaking out, man.
What did you do?
I have no idea. All right, type or paste your entries here.
You can add an image, settings,
But
change the
see,
font.
like it says choice one, right? But
Well,
I go to click on it, and then it immediately erases everything. Look at this shit. Choice three, yay! Okay, hold on.
it
Wait,
is true. I just searched it on Google, and Google's usually like wish wash, but it like says there is a lower testosterone rate in the younger generation. I'm gonna put in the chat significant lower testosterone levels have been
okay, I see how.
declining across
All right.
generations, with Gen Z and millennials having significantly lower testosterone levels compared to their predecessors. I mean, that seems like a good debate topic because that's what I see as being Gen X. I'm getting pretty old. I see a big difference in like how weak the men are in the
so what
younger
would the
generation.
debate prompt
Testosterone
be in that
standpoint.
situation?
Let me think.
What do you mean?
I mean, what
What
Curveball's
what
talking about? Like he's talking about,
is
younger
Gen
generation have
Z
low T. Like, what would the debate
does
prompt be
does
around
lo-
that?
does
What are
the
you
lower
talking about?
testosterone in Gen Z affect? I don't know, what do you want to come up with. I'm just getting started here. Affect. Has the feminist movement gotten stronger because of low T Gen Z? Something like that.
Give me a minute. Fuck.
I think that's a legitimate question because if they don't have the testosterone, maybe that's why the feminists are getting stronger and stronger.
Hmm. I guess I can just put L. Is it LGBT or LBGT? I think it's LGBT, right? Am I wrong there? Am I off base? Am I missing something? Yeah, right. I know.
I don't think we didn't have it before. We don't need it now. This whole L acronym for whatever.
What's up, Ashton? Good to see you, bro. You want to jump in for a sec? You're more than welcome to, my man. Gorlock the Destroyer is fat. That's a good one, bro. Yeah. All right. Bro. I guess the color doesn't really fucking matter, does it? How about victim accountability?
I don't know. I don't think you should put victim at the beginning of that. I think the
Just
accountability is
accountability?
good enough. Yeah, just accountability. Yeah.
All right. Think 8, right? You think that's good? And then just fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish, like, when it would pop up, if I could, like, add, like, when it would pop up, it would give prompts, right? So, like, all right, here's the prompts for this. God, that was a good idea. Oh, war. Yeah, Marcus, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Hold on. All right. Damn, man, I wish I had. Maybe I should, like, bust out the old notepad and just write up some prompts for these. Here, hold on, let me see. Okay.
I mean, I'd like to have a debate on why is it acceptable for women to take 90% of the jobs that they like, but men can't do the same thing. Like they can take up 90% of the nursing jobs, 90% of the office jobs, and they're still the victim, by the way. Even when they have 90% of the office jobs, every time they're the victim. Like
Yeah.
how do they claim that when they're 90%? It's just retarded.
Right. No, 100%. All right. Prompts for town hall. All right. So first, we're gonna have abortion. All right. Give me some prompts for abortion. Something I can use for. Yeah. That's
Induced.
what I'm doing right now, brother.
How about I got one for you? Induced labor versus abortion.
Induced labor versus
Am I
abortion.
saying that wrong? Induced. When you induce the birth, induced birth. That's what I meant to say. Induced birth versus abortion.
So you're saying, like, instead of killing the kid, you force him to have it real quick?
Well, yeah, I mean, because that's what we do when a woman, I'm not an expert on this at all. I'd have to research if we did this. But there's a lot of women that have to get induced birth because of whatever medical condition they have. They need to do it sooner than later. So if that's the case, then we should always err on the side of induced birth over killing the baby, basically.
Absolutely.
That's my take, anyways. But I'm sure Lefty would get freaking triggered as F for not saying that they have to induce birth. And then it's such an easy argument back, so you'd rather just kill it?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's so many good ones here. I'm going to take religion off of this because I don't feel like that's too much of a contentious topic, and I'll go ahead and
I got one for you on that. That's very contentious.
jabs. What's up?
Who wrote the Bible, the original Bible? And I'll tell you one thing: it wasn't Islam. It wasn't Muhammad.
The original Bible? No, the original Bible was
No.
written by Jews, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Muhammad claims that he wrote it, but really, what happened when he went on this trip? he bumped into where the Bible was written, and he bastardized it. He just wrote for what he want. He took everything he liked and left out what he didn't like and changed things at the same time. So he just basically rewrote it.
Well, I mean, he was a schizophrenic PDF, man.
Was he? Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
But, and I wouldn't want, like, if I was talking to an Islamic person, I wouldn't want to like try to purposely upset them. I would just want to like explain to them that their Bible is fake. It's just a copy of the Jewish Bible, and that really pisses them off because they don't like Jews.
Really? Oh, that I mean, yeah, that definitely pissed him off.
Well, it's a copy. Yeah, it's a copy of the Jews and the Christians, right? Yeah, because he stole both. He stole the New Testament and the Old Testament. And
Yeah.
he turned Jesus into just a prophet. The whole purpose, the whole point of the New Testament is Jesus dying for our sins, and they turn him into just a prophet.
All right, what do we got here? Yeah, so Mad Matt, I saw this one. That's why I put First Amendment in there, and then sex ed in school, education. That's definitely a good one.
I mean, you could just put government. That's a
Hey
big thing
Corey,
for me.
what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in, bro.
Because like a lot of times when we're debating, it's really a matter of, is the government going to do it, or is it on the responsibility of the civilian? You know, that's
Oh
like
yeah,
almost everything.
yeah, for
Measure that
sure.
way.
All right. So
So I guess the debate would be, do we need government? And then it would just go from there, because you have people that are going to fight for government and people like me that are always going to fight against it.
of course,
I mean, not always. I'm not like crazy. We have to have some government, but just not to the extent that. My point is, government's incompetent, so I want as little of it as possible.
based, absolutely based. All right. So I'm first topic I have on here is the abortion topic. Induced birth versus abortion. My body, my choice. Is it forced if they choose to have sex? And then when does it become a life? When does the baby, I don't want to call it baby, when does the baby become a life with value?
Okay, now so on that's why the induced birth is so important to me, because if you can induce the birth and the baby lives, then that proves it shouldn't be aborted.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm like that is the most successful eugenics campaign that has ever been run in this
Oh
country.
God, yeah. And you know what? They've won. I've been watching this my whole life. Like, the 1,000 cuts to reduce the human population, and now look, we need more humans. They've been talking fear for my whole life, because I grew up in a college town, so I know what they say and how they think. And oh my God, it's so difficult to talk to them because they just lack basic logic, and
Yeah,
they regurgitate what they learn, even though it's just, you can prove it to them 1,000 times, and they'll still keep saying it. Women make less than men. I mean, you can't argue it because they'll just keep repeating. They're a repeater on that topic.
yeah. All right.
But an easy argument, I finally figured out that the kill shot to that is, okay, so what about accountability? Why do women make less than men? Just like pretend like it's true is, I think, a good thing. Why did you make less than men then? Why are you weaker than men? I mean, if they're really arguing that they're weaker than men all the time,
Yeah.
we make less, we're this, we're that. I mean,
Why do you take so many days off, you lazy bitch? You know what I'm saying? So Marcus, what the plan is for these town halls? I want to start them. We'll go by Eastern Standard Time. I want to start them at about like 3 p.m. Eastern, and then go until about 10 p.m. Eastern. So like 7 hours. Possibly start at like 2:30, right? And that way, just to give people time to like kind of roll in and do everything. But what I was thinking was having a like 20-minute debates, right? So you have like a 2.5 minute opener. If you want to elect to have openers, you have a 2.5 minute opener, and then that way you get 15 minutes, and then just run debates back to back to back over that. And I remember Marcus earlier or you were talking earlier about having a bracket system, so potentially having like a tournament style. You know what I mean? And just do that randomly. For whoever wants to jump in. So, we're yeah. Wins increase your seed. Exactly. Yeah, dude. Um, See, that would be where like a point system would kind of come in handy. Because if you're racking up the most points, you should definitely be first seed over anybody else if no one else has gotten the same amount of. Speaking of pre-rolls, I got to take a trip to the store. Hey, man, enjoy that, Matt. For real, man. But a point system would really come in handy for something like that, just because, when it comes to the seed and like where they end up on the bracket, someone who's just like racking up points left and right, I would say like they definitely deserve that first seed. All right. So for immigration prompts, I'm just gonna do 4 prompts for each, right? So for immigration, I got, should we deport all illegals? Does due process is due process the same for illegals? Anchor babies, yay or nay? And what's another one? Are taco trucks worth the tax burden? Nah. No, you're good, Rude. Hey, it's all good, man. Thanks for jumping in, bro. It was a pleasure. You still there, Curve? Seems like not. Only for seeds, not for during the debate. It will be too overwhelming. Yeah, no, fair. That's a good point, dude. That's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm still here. I just muted myself while I'm looking for breakfast.
Oh no, you're good, bro. Yeah. Eat your food, man. I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Tacos or burritos, exactly. What's up, Achilles? Welcome in, dude. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Bill, if you want to jump in and kick some ideas around, bro, I'm just chilling right now. All right. So for immigration, I got, should we deport all illegals? Is due process the same for illegals? Anchor babies, yay or nay? And then what's the 4th one? Are tamales worth the tax burden? Here, 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. All right. I am back. I am back. I am back. Yeah, I get it, are we not, man? I get it. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I think I still hold the record for most timed out on the Crucible without getting banned. All right. My thing with a lot of these debates is I've seen so many lefties get simply demolished on some of these topics time and time again. Really need to get creative with the topics. I know, dude. That's what I'm trying to like. I want to do something different, right? For banned by lefties or blocked by lefties, honestly. See, I want to have contentious topics, but it's a good point, man. All right. We can get rid of immigration. Yeah, we can get rid of immigration. I want to keep abortion on there just because I'm biased to fight that position. You know what I mean? Feminism. What are some other good ones? Yeah. Yeah. It's a joke I fucked with mods on the Crucible just to get timed out and it became a meme. And then you became the mod, right? You know what I'm saying? You're that guy, man. You're that guy. Getting people fucking heated constantly, dude. It's so funny. Are we not men? When I hear people like when they talk about you and they talk about you with such loathing, and it's like, man, he's an all right guy. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you're great, bro. It's so funny, man. I think I was up there in most timeouts given by a mod. I think I even beat Moon. That was 10 minutes after getting the wrench. Oh. All right. Yeah, accountability is a big one for me. So I'll go ahead and get rid of immigration then. Yeah. Some people just can't handle it, bro. You know? If you live in a soft pillow ass world, dude, someone that's sharp is gonna fuck you up, man. You know what I mean? All right, First Amendment. What is hate speech? And how is it hate? All right, so I got First Amendment. What is hate speech? How is it hate? Second, should any speech, I don't want to say any speech, should hate speech be censored? Chat. Decline a wrench on the Crucible because I like fucking with mods. Yeah, I bet you did, bro. Yeah, I got BLM and Antifa up there already. Should due process be the same for illegals? Yeah, fair.
How about mental fitness representatives? Like we all talk about that we would like them to have a certain like. The reason I say IQ is because it's really the only psychological test that's valid at this point. All the other
Mental
ones
fitness?
are,
Is that what you said?
yeah. I feel like there should be some basic IQ test of our representatives. We definitely have 80 IQs in our government right now. We know who
No,
they
100%.
are.
Yeah, for sure.
How are they representing us? If I guess they do represent the 80 IQs, though. I guess somebody could make that argument.
Ashton, so I'm going to be doing this today. Like this is like I'm getting a loose kind of idea on how to run this thing right now with you guys, and we're gonna start this shit in about 6.5 hours.
I would say, okay, instead of an IQ, well, in addition to an IQ test, there should be like a constitutional test that they have to pass to get to represent us. They should be able to at least prove that they know the law,
Yeah, yeah.
like knowledge based. I mean, I would like a IQ, but yeah, it should be knowledge based at least.
He's just misunderstood. All right, so should we have that? Have to be some kind of politics. Should I take feminism off? I don't really give a like. These bitches are stupid. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, because my point there wasn't about feminists. It was just trying to think of what is the effect of people with having lower T now, lower testosterone.
Uh, zero sperm count, willingness to lay over and lick boots of the government. Not mental capacity. Nice. Contentious topic. U.S. military should bring back the draft. That's going to go under war for sure, JB. That's clutch. That's a great prompt.
I mean, we really do need
Thank
to
you,
put
man.
women in a position where they have to make a decision. They're going to apply for the draft, or I mean, or not vote, or I don't know, the way to say it best, but it's an either or. If they want to vote, then they have to. If they want equality, better way to put it, then they would have to do everything we do. You can't just nitpick. Let's say I pick this. I want men to pay for. Oh, that's not government. But anyways, if women want to be treated like the weaker sex, then they should be treated like. How to say this? Let me think about it. I have a thought. I just have to think about it for a minute.
Yeah. I will say this, and I'll try to use loose terms. I'm not the biggest fan of Israel, okay? But there's one thing they do that I think we should implement in America, and this might be a hot take, guys. So strap in. I think there should be at least like a year or two of mandatory service. Maybe not necessarily like throwing you on the front lines or anything, but there should be a year or two of mandatory service for people before they can vote. I mean, that's like just. There you go. I lost 3 viewers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and you know what? Part of that training would, at the end of it, it would have to be tested if they learned it, right? So at the end,
Yeah.
there would be a test to measure if they are competent in that subject, competent enough to vote. Do they even know what the hell they're voting on? Like, for example.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know what, Emmett? By the way, if you want to jump in, Emmett, you're more than welcome to jump in. Emmett, that's a good prompt. I'm going to put that under First Amendment. Should Christians use force to impose morality? All right. And then.
Well, on that subject, that wouldn't be the Christians doing it. It would be the government. It would be the Christians asking the government to do that, or putting laws into the government. So ultimately, it would go to the government, even if it was starting with Christians.
With 10 interlocutors, you can do double elimination. That's 19 debates, 2 wild cards. Bro. Okay. Let me get that down real quick. All right. So, with 7 hours at 20 minutes each. It's 21 debates. 10 participants. Double elim. That'll be 19 debates and 2 wild cards. All right. Clutch, Marcus, you're a ledge, dude. All right. No, no, we can take control of the government and impose it. There you go. Yeah. See, Emmett is he's my friendly neighborhood authoritarian. I like Emmett, I really do. He's good people. How about this? Should Christians take control of the government and use force to impose morality? Okay, what is executive power overreach? Christian monarchy for the win. Bill Hicks, I know you're about it.
You know, one thing that makes that an interesting topic is when I was growing up, that is what the government did. They did control the airways, what we heard, what kind of sexuality there was on TV and stuff. And now it's gone to where the government is controlling our desire to not see woke stuff all the time. We don't want it, but they force it on us. So now it's like a perverted version of the government, where they used to like remove the perverted stuff. Now they force it upon us.
Right. No, exactly. Well, see, at one point in time, you know, when it was obviously like there was only 3 channels at one point, you know, and that was well before my time. But it was a lot easier to control the flow of media at that point. And then as the accessibility and the technology was available for them to broadcast to more channels and do stuff, I'm sure they implemented things to where they could maintain that control over what was going over the airwaves. With the internet, on the other hand, it is such a wild flow of information constantly that they can't really get much of a grasp on it. And that's what I genuinely think like the main purpose of the focus of AI is. So because AI can process all of that information that moves from one piece to another, from one place to another on the internet so fast that it would be able to catch things, you know. But that's just my like conspiracy theory about AI. I really don't think AI is here to like was like the idea of it when drafting it. I don't think that was made to help us. I think that was made to like collect knowledge, you know, or like collect information. Because that's what it does the best, right? It collects and processes information faster than a human being ever could.
Yeah, I mean, like AI isn't a problem when it's used objectively. Like, it's amazing that a surgeon can do a search on AI and come up with procedures and stuff, or a lawyer can come up with laws. But what the government's going to always do is use it to propagandize, and they can only do that with like the soft topics that women love to study.
Yeah,
they can finagle those all they want. But if it's objective, like you're an engineer, they can't really do much to F you up. 2 + 2 is 2 is 4. I mean, I'm totally. I'm tired.
Right.
Yeah, so I think AI's here to stay as a really good part of society, but not when it comes to when there's multiple viewpoints on something. Like AI is definitely feminist right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, and that's the thing, right? Is like, you know, it's AI is a very useful tool, and it can be used as a useful tool. I think the most important thing is having people smart enough to be one step ahead of the game on the way AI is being utilized, right? But it would be a hard sell on me to convince me that it's not pre-programmed and there's no way that we're ever going to be able to kind of access all the information it's already caught, you know? Like,
well, and that's why definitions are incredibly important for AI. Because if we're putting in the stupid things that propagandists say, like a woman can be a man or vice versa, and then AI takes that as a fact, that's what we have to keep. We have to keep it in objective reality, the AI. So that is going to be a big fight, I think. Oh, exceptions is not the rule. I would deduct a point for that one. Whenever somebody makes a good point and they say, but except for this or that, that's just so stupid.
Yeah. Like fucking being a cunt, basically.
Yeah.
you get you get a point docked for being a cunt. No, that's a good idea.
I know that one person who can lift 500 pounds.
Thank you, Arby Not Man. I appreciate that, and thank you, Jess. I really appreciate the raid today. Seriously, thank you. Yeah, I mean, over this next because my MRI isn't for another month. Over another month, it's on the 30th of July. And then once I have surgery, I have no idea how fucking long I'm going to be down.
Dude,
So,
I got to tell you something.
yeah.
Because the reason that I'm even having the time to have this conversation is because I got a botched neck surgery, and I have been fighting with that little baby steps to get back to normal for 5 years. Like
Oh,
for like
shit.
3 years, I couldn't even like walk around for more than like 10 minutes, and my neck would tighten and get really like tired and weak, and I'd have to lay down, and so there was no way I could work. And now I'm to the point where like I can do more of that, but like I still have pinched nerves. So, oh man, it's causing me a lot of problems. And the fucking surgeons, they don't want to admit when they make a mistake because they don't want to get sued. So it took me years to even figure out what the hell they did to me. But the good news is I'm out of it. I mean, if I can erase the last 5 years, I'm happy I got the surgery because I do have all new discs in my neck. It's just he screwed up and pinched at least one nerve. I don't know how many, but he pinched some nerves. It caused me. There's the nerves in your neck cause they control your emotional regulation. So so they pinched that nerve that affected my ability to like stay emotionally regulated. That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's awful, man. My grandmother, she broke her neck in the 80s, in the early 80s. And anything having to do with, like, especially your brain stem, that whole area, it's got to be miserable, man. And so, are you said they botched the surgery, right?
Yeah. Well, another way I could say it is they pinched nerves.
Can you
And
prove that and like get a check from them?
I mean, yeah, but like it's been such a struggle, the day to day, ever since that surgery, that like that just way extra for my brain to even think about. Maybe I'll still do that because, like I said, I didn't learn these things in one day. I've been learning the things that they did to my neck. I still learned something just a few weeks ago that I didn't know. For example, it's just ongoing. But yeah, I do have well, that's another thing is finding the right people to help you when you have a problem. There's the people that say they can help you, and the people that actually can. It's a very, very long list of people who actually can't. They say they can, but they can't. So I wasted a lot of time with the wrong people. But now I have a really good chiropractor who can release that pinch, not completely.
Yeah.
And I have some. It also deadened my shoulder, so I can't lift my arm above my neck because of that pinched nerve, like things like that. So just know, I had two neck surgeries. The first one was beautiful. The second one was,
I took out jabs and I'm putting in wild card because Emmett has some really good ones on here. I need to go through here and find all these because they're kind of random and they don't really fit as a prompt into all these categories. So I feel like a wild card and having like 8, 9, 10 of them in wild card would be good. All right, here, hold on. Can there truly be separation of church and state? That's a good one for here. So I had put under First Amendment, should we have more or less religion in government? I'll replace that with, can we truly have separation of church and state? Emmett, dude, thank you for all the clutch prompts. Everybody for all the clutch prompts, man. No, JB had some good ones here too. Yeah, torte reform is the best way to immediately fix the healthcare system. Is suing. God damn, dude. Yeah, like, how about, should we be able to hold the medical industry accountable? JB, you think that's that's a good summary of what you were saying as a prompt? Should we be able to hold the medical industry accountable? All right, and then, is the economy able to self-regulate, or does it have to be under a moral system? Is the economy able to self-regulate, or does it have to be under a moral system? Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea, dude. Have someone pay to like to bring someone out for wild card. All right, let me. All right. Is semantics important in a debate? All right. What surgery you have to get done, man? Curve.
Oh, okay. What's up? Oh, my dog is barking.
Oh, you're good, man.
I think it was, I forget the name, but something Lama, whatever. I don't know. They replaced all the discs on my neck, is the bottom line. And the problem when they do that is if they have to replace them all and there isn't enough room, they have to do it twice. Because they always want to go, and I could be getting it backwards, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a while. So I think they had to go in through they went in through the front of my neck first, in order to get more space in there so that they could do it through the back. But usually they just do it all through the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was a false leader because I was, wow, I feel so much better. For the second one, like, boom, my whole life changes. But you know what's real? I'm so grateful because I worked for an employer that they saw I was missing a lot of time, and so they let me retire gracefully, and they've made it like incentivized it. So I haven't skipped a beat. I've been earning money since it happened, thank God, and I paid for my own private insurance, so that's been helping me too. So
Yeah.
that's
See,
something to consider.
I'm lucky, man. Like I work from home, so I'm pretty blessed in that respect. I did have a second job at this restaurant that I helped open, but I can't work that now because I can't walk for too long. I fucking blew out my meniscus, dude, in my left knee on the inside, and yeah, if I put weight on it for too long, it's like it swells up really bad. So can't do it. Can't do it no more, man. I'm working on it, working on getting better and stuff. But in the meantime, dude, it gives me time to focus on this and focus on getting some more customers and freight. I do logistics from home, so
Yeah, I mean,
it's
aging's real.
yeah,
We got to be nice to our parts. Like, we can go beat them up and run and everything, but just know that for that short term feeling great because you went for a run, there's going to be a long term deficit to your bones and joints. But yeah, when I go bowling, it's not as bad as you, but yeah, it hurts really a lot. I have to put like um something on my around my knee to stabilize it when I'm bowling, for example. But but I don't have any. At least they're nothing they find. But that's another thing is they don't find everything. They don't even know what everything is. There's so many times doctors like I don't know. It's your specialty. Like really?
Yeah. Is fat acceptance good for society?
Okay, so fat acceptance is kind of one of those things where you can either be the good person who hurts their feelings or the bad person who makes them feel okay about their decisions. There's lots of things like that with alcoholism and stuff like it's okay if they have a drink. No, it's not. You're by saying that you're actually killing them because they
Right.
like my dad wanted to quit and there was too many people like encouraging him like there's nothing wrong with drinking.
Yeah. Is privilege an unappreciated trait by those privileged? Boom. Yeah, dude. See, that's something right there. That's a good one. I just fall under the belief that anybody who lives in America is privileged. No one can convince me otherwise. Like even our homeless people are you're guaranteed food and shelter. Well, you're not guaranteed it, but you have that option. If you ruin that for yourself, that's your fault. You know, Birmingham. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and Birmingham is not a rich city, right? Like the city itself, and there's still options for homeless people to find somewhere to sleep, where there's a roof over your head, safe place to put all of your belongings. You get food every day. They like have programs to help you like get a job and get back on your feet and stuff. And you know, a lot of people just end up staying homeless because some people, you know, they don't want to live a regular life, man. Like it's just how it goes. It's unfortunate, but
I know that's what they say. It's really hard for me to believe that, but yeah, that's what they keep saying. They want to be homeless.
you
Wow.
can't because I mean you just the thing is, dude, and this is just how it is. You can't continue to lob opportunities and expend resources on people that aren't going to is homelessness a choice that should be respected? That's a good one. Holy shit.
I mean, the answer to that is like if they're really homeless. But if you're homeless in the city, to me that's like you're cheating. Like that's not that's not living on your own. You're just taking advantage of the city resources while you're
Right.
pretending to be, out of society.
While you're getting high and, you know, I mean that's just like unfortunately that's the world we live in. That's what people do. They don't want to go outside of that box, man. It
Mhm.
is what it is, right? They want a free ride and, you know, like it's just crazy how like people like they'll leave the shelter and they'll go straight to a highway instead of going to a job. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I get it, right? Like you're dope sick. You don't want to kick. Like that's how that works. I understand, but at the same time, you know, going right back to this whole accountability section on the wheel here, uh, that's that's something that people need to really take seriously today, man. Like, you know,
The sad part is when I see college students living out of their car while they're going to college. They just like park near their college and sleep in their car. That's sad.
yeah, yeah. Are kids the cure to nihilism? Ooh, holy, bro. That's clutch. That's a good one. Bro, Emmett's got bangers right now. Marcus, dude, thank you very much, man. Yeah, dude. When you wake up, if we're going, dude, please by all means come on in, bro. I'd love to have you in, dude. Thank you very much for all your help. I'm gonna go back through chat and get all of your ideas so that way I can write everything down because I saw you putting stuff up, but I was just like looking like I got 3 different things going on. What do you mean why? Oh, are we not men, dude? If I like bring up a topic and say something, dude, fucking spam if you need to, man. It's all good. All right. All right. So this is what I have so far. I'm gonna keep going with this, guys. But I got okay. So for abortion, I have induced birth versus abortion. My body, my choice. Is it force if they choose to have sex? And when does the baby become a life with value? So all right, is it force? What I meant is it force? Uh, that's not labor, but like, is it forcing them to stay pregnant if they choose to have sex?
Yeah, induced birth, I think, is what we were talking about.
Yeah, and then when does the baby become a life with value? And then First Amendment, what is hate speech and how is it hate? Should hate speech be censored? How about what is hate speech and is it hate? And then should hate speech be censored? Should Christians take control of the government and use force to impose morality? And then can we truly have separation of church and state? For war, I have should we reinstitute the draft? Yeah, fucking Emmett, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude. That's crazy, bro. Mandatory 2-year service to vote. Should we exert power over the rest of the world? And are military strikes a declaration of war? And then so far in the wild card, I have should we be able to hold the medical industry accountable? Is the economy able to self-regulate or does it have to be under a moral system? Is semantics important in a debate? Individual rights or national security? Should jabs be a societal requirement? Is privilege an unappreciated trait by those privileged? Is homelessness a choice that should be respected? And are kids the cure to nihilism? And then for fat people, I have is being morbidly obese beautiful? Should people be more conscious of their health? Is fat acceptance good for society? Or what is better, acceptance or self-improvement? What do you guys think of those prompts so far?
Yeah, I like them. I think all of them need a little bit of work, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Don't
I
get me
think
wrong.
ultimately what we want to do is like make something as concise and straightforward as possible so it doesn't give the disingenuous people room to like bring up irrelevant stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that that is where I would come in because I'm planning on being a moderator. I'm not really going to be debating in this. Like this is my channel. I'm the host, so I want to moderate. If I want to go on to someone else's channel and debate, I'll do that. Or if someone wants to debate me bad enough, I will. But I like my goal here is to be a moderator. So like I got off dope about 7 years ago, and I did that through the 12-step program. And in the 12-step program, they have this thing. It's called service structure, right? Where you go to the meetings, but then in order to keep those meetings at the venues that they're at, there's a once monthly meeting that everyone goes to that is involved in like doing, what they call service to the meetings. And that's essentially just like going over the budget, how much money's been collected, any kind of events they want to hold. They have like, PI, which is public information, how to get the information about the meeting out to the general public, yada, 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 things like that. So I did a bunch of that stuff for about 4 years. Ended up being what they call a general service representative. So like I was the one who chaired the meetings, the meetings that we'd all have. And the thing is, when you're a general service representative, is you don't have an opinion and you don't have a vote. You're the one who calls the vote, and you're the one who like tallies everything up and then puts the counts into the secretary's notes for the next meeting. And that's a 2-year position. So I had to multiple times listen to people. Why should people be proud of not knowing the basics of fucking? That's fucking hilarious, Emmett. But I was the one who had to like essentially listen to people debate back and forth, calm people down if they started arguing too much, and had to objectively look, or like look at things from a neutral point, and not like I couldn't insert my opinion into a conversation, and I couldn't vote, right? I had to be completely neutral. And there were multiple times when, I'd have to essentially like go against the things that I felt passionately about, tallying up votes, putting them in the thing, like calling the announcement to everybody like, hey, that's the vote. That's what's in the, that's what's in the books. That's how we're going to do things from now on, and then also enforce those things if I needed to, moving forward. So, when it comes to like debate, right, I have the experience to be able to compartmentalize my bias and act in a neutral way. So I feel like moderation would probably be what I'd be better at. Like I'm not a bad debater by any stretch, but I feel like I'd be much better moderator. All right, so accountability, huh?
What if after a debate, people were allowed to ask questions of the debaters based on what they said during the debate? Like everybody gets a chance to like ask, you said this during the debate, blah, blah, blah.
Run that by me one more time.
Yeah, so like after the debate's over, there's an
Yeah.
opportunity for people that have been watching to ask them questions about what they said during the debate. Like you said he did this, or so that would be like one alternative to taking points off. They could say, they could ask him, do you feel like you were straw manning there when you said blah blah blah? I mean, whatever they want to ask, but it would be a good opportunity to kind of make them accountable for what they were saying during the debate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that for sure. That'd be something more for the judges, you know. So
Well,
what?
yeah, you could do both. You could have the judges ask questions, and then you can have the general audience ask questions.
Yeah. So what Rude had suggested earlier is have 2 judges, and then if one judge feels one way and the other judge feels the other way, then you run it to chat and you see what chat has to say about it. So if both judges, which is like that's the reason I really want to like I wanted Rude and Abe to judge, because I genuinely feel like both of them could bring a neutral position and look at things from a neutral standpoint for just how did the debate go. How about contentious topics about prison? Oh, buddy, that's a good one, Panchuchin. Why do women feel offended when confused with a transsexual? Dude, that's one of the funniest videos I have ever seen, bro. That is one of the funniest videos ever. Have you seen that, Curve? Where it's a guy and he's going to like pride parades and stuff like that, and he's walking up to women who are obviously women, and he starts asking them like, "So when did you come out as trans?" You know,
Yeah, I've seen that. That's
that shit
awesome.
is so fucking hilarious, dude. Because these are people who like they don't know how to react. It's like if they get offended, they're saying something about that, and they are deeply offended. But at the same time, it's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, I
That's
love questions where it puts them into a quandary where, like, if either way they answer it, it's going to offend somebody in their eco circle. Yeah. Like, that's why, honestly, we know that's why women say stupid things because they're afraid of offending people in those groups, They won't admit that a man is a man, a woman is a woman because, like, that might offend my neighbor who is trans.
all right. These are going to be some contentious topics. So for accountability, I have: do some homeless people deserve to be homeless? Second one is: at what point does a woman put herself in a position to be attacked? That's going to piss some people off, dude. But all right, what else can I put on here for accountability?
Things that they blame men for. Like, women actually are weaker, so why do they blame men for that, for being stronger? Why do women even ask to be a special class? Take accountability for what you can do and what you can't do. Why do you need help?
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
retarded to me that they are a special class. Like, are you kidding me? You're the majority population.
yeah, yeah. If women are so strong, why do they need men's help to?
Oh, I got it. Should women be in a special class? Should they
Yeah.
be listed as a special class?
All right. Should women be a protected class? All right. One more for accountability, guys.
On the spot. I'm trying to think. There's so much stuff like this that comes up on account in whatever, where a woman claims something, and then as soon as they're put on the spot, they take away their accountability. They I'm trying to think.
Oh,
And
here
these
we
are
go.
things I have to wait about.
Here's
Like,
one for accountability. Why should the country pay for your student loans?
why don't women admit that they're not as good at school as men when all the facts
I mean,
prove that they don't innovate?
well,
Do women innovate? How about that? Do women innovate?
I can definitely throw that in.
I'm
Let me
sorry,
see.
it's not accountability. It's just on my head.
All right.
They think somehow that, like, writing a spreadsheet is equivalent to what men do with creating AIs and all the other stuff that we do. It definitely wasn't the women that built the pyramid. I'll tell you that much.
LGBTQ. Um, let's see. Uh, do people need to know about your sex life? Why do people need to know about each other's sex lives?
Thinking back on what I said, we could revert it to who is a special class? Who should be
Yeah.
listed as a special class?
Should anyone
Yeah.
be listed as? Should anybody be listed be a protected class?
Or race. Should any race be listed as special class? I can understand because I grew up poor. I can understand that, in a protected
Yeah.
class.
are people born gay?
That is a serious question.
Yeah. Why do other people need to affirm transgenderism? Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Well, growing up, I would always call like Mr. such and such and Mrs. such and such. And then more and more it got to where we just talk to each other equally. And now they're trying to push me to say pronouns. So I feel like, okay, I'm Mr. Call me Mr. How do you think they would take that? I wonder. Go back to the Mr. I think they wouldn't do it.
Emmett, so here's my thing. Like, I want lefties to come back. So there's a part of me that doesn't want that. Like, I get that, and that's definitely it's funny, right? But my thing is that prompt in and of itself is kind of an attack. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it. But I feel like this one is a lot more comical and it could get a laugh out of people, right? So you could have like a funny back and forth where, and I'm just looking at this from the perspective of someone going into a space where they don't know anybody and they're asked a question like that. They're immediately going to be on the defensive, and it may not work to keep people around. Yeah. What is the purpose of prison reform? Prison reform, and does it work? That's a good one. I threw that one under wild card. Okay.
I guess when I think about prison, I wonder so we know that there's a certain segment of society that just can't be in our society.
Yeah.
So what is the best way to deal with it? What prisons are supposed to do is like inform them, but it doesn't do it just teaches them to be better criminals.
All right. So I'm on Second Amendment now. Should gun safety / responsibility be taught in schools?
See, I've been fighting for that for a while. I mean, not just to put
Fuck
my
yeah,
words,
dude. Me
but
too, bro.
I think people should learn how to shoot. I was shocked when I bought a gun and nobody taught me how to use it. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, just because I know how stupid people are.
Yeah.
Whatever stupid thing you can think of, a stupid person will do.
Yeah. At what point are gun restrictions a violation of the Second Amendment? Why are areas with more legally armed people often safer? Corey Barton, welcome back in, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big soda is the best thing to happen to America, my friend. If you want to jump on in, bro, and bullshit with me for a little bit, man, we're just coming up with some ideas here, man. You know, we're gonna do this town hall thing today. I'm trying to get like an hour or two of sleep before we jump into this because I'm gonna need to follow along, dude. I'm gonna be doing this for hours today, so. I need to look up how to give people permissions. Oh, you think so, Panchuchin? Dude, I appreciate that, man. I hope it is, dude. I just want it to be fun. Oh, yeah, there you go, brother. Well, if you got like a headset or something, you can just, punch in and fucking bullshit. But hey, I get it, bro. If you want, just listen, We're just having fun right now, cuz.
I had a fancy setup with the microphone and all that stuff, and I landed on this just headset that has the microphone on it. And I much appreciate it. Does it sound okay to you guys?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, dude.
I think it's just it gets too complicated when you start adding. I mean, if you have a home studio or whatever, maybe, but just this thing cost me like $500 worth
Oh,
everything.
shit.
You know, you know what happened is I bought like 6 different headsets, and none of them were doing what I was hoping for, and so I returned all of them and bought the most expensive one I could find. I mean, not within range. There's some that are like $1,500 or whatever. Forget that.
Yeah. That's a good one. There you go, Emmett. Good rephrase, dude. Good
I'm not seeing
rephrase.
Emmett. Where are you seeing Emmett? I've been looking. I'm not seeing
Arukar
him.
Oak is Emmett.
Oh, okay.
Should people be proud? Should people be proud of basic instincts? Just spreading democracy in the name of Big Soda. That's right. God bless, my friend. You already know. You already know, my dude. All right. Okay, so Second Amendment so far. Should gun safety and responsibility be taught in schools? At what point are gun restrictions a violation of the Second Amendment? Why are areas with more legally armed people often safer?
How about should everybody be given a home?
Yeah.
I would like to talk about that. Should everybody be given a home? I mean, not talking like a fancy home, but should everybody be given like a whatever 200 square foot or something to live? Because some people are just born with shitty parents and they can never get to home ownership.
Yeah. I just threw that under wild card.
Okay.
Wild card, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I hear you, Rude. I know. I feel the same way. I'm just throwing
Socialist, yes, yeah.
I can play devil's advocate, you know. I'm
Should
not saying
kids
for
receive
free.
armed
You
training
know,
at
they
school?
could be
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
given a
I
home
have
that
that. I
they
have that, Emmett. That's the first one I have under Second Amendment. Should gun safety and responsibility be taught in school? Yeah. That's that to me. That's fucking huge, dude. Like that's a big one to me. I'm a big gun advocate. Um, it's like 5% of gun crimes are done with legally owned guns. So it's like somewhere
I had
between
this
like 5 and 10%. It's like an incredibly fucking low amount,
I had
and
this
most of
one
those are
retarded
crimes of
friend.
passion. I just
He
want
would
kids armed at school. Dude, honestly, like, there's a really hard argument for teachers being armed at school, but it's just which teachers, right? You know what I mean? Like, some of these folks that teach at schools shouldn't be around a gun at all. But
Well, if I was in charge of schools, I would completely change the whole dynamic. I would have it to where like you have one instructor that's teaching like thousands of students, and in the classrooms you would have like monitors that would just walk around and help them doing the work that the teacher's leading, instead of having this like mass amount of incompetent teachers. We should pick the only way you're going to get the best teachers is if you reduce the pool of teachers to the best. And we don't need to have it like the teacher in classroom these days. That can be external. We can even program the AIs to teach them the topics
ooh,
that we make.
that's sketchy territory you get in there, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, BLM Antifa. All right.
But like if we're talking about the sciences, it's not sketchy. You know what I mean? Like if we're talking about like just math and all the objective studies. It's when we get into the subjective studies, having an AI teach subjective studies. That's where you run into a problem.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's getting all of its information from the internet, and that includes like message boards and Twitter and shit.
Hmm.
Put metal detectors in every door. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, the AIs I'm talking about would be specifically programmed and for the topic, and everything would be approved to whatever process, you know. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Fucking based, Emmett. Holy dude. That's a good one, bro. You know what? So I had at what point are gun restrictions a violation of the Second Amendment? I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna put why are areas with more legally armed people often safer? I'm gonna take that one out and replace it with yours. Should orgs that attack the Second Amendment be prosecuted for sedition? Absolutely based. Or we should arm bears. All right. Is lethal force. So BLM Antifa. Is lethal force ever justified? Next. Rude. So like lobbying for gun reform, like gun control reform. That's the most effective way to do it, right? Passing money to get votes in Congress for those things. Yeah. All right. Is lethal force ever justified? How many people need to be heavily prosecuted before people stop? No, that's a little too vague. Say that a group of people like that that like to wear funny hats. Yeah, no shit, dude. Let's go. What is the best remedy for riots? Should I actually put do Black Lives Matter? No. No. What does rioting solve? How about what does rioting accomplish? What is a woman? Yeah, that's a good one, Emmett. Should BLM and Gen 6 uh the same way? All right, I got to add that one in, Achilles. That's a good one. Do Black Lives Matter more than do Black Lives Matter? That's tough, Emmett. Holy shit. which is a great question. I mean, it's so fucking true, dude. It's so true. No, they don't.
Oh, you know how I was saying should people be given a house? I was thinking about it, and I was really thinking more about what is a parent responsible for? How much of that child's life are they responsible for? Like, should we allow parents to just have a child and never do crap for them, or should they have a responsibility to give them a start in life?
When you say a start in life, do you mean like kind of a leg up financially, or are you talking more along the lines of, uh,
I guess like the worst example would be like a parent that like kicks them out at age 18. Like they're not prepared for life at all, but they just kick them out, and now it's our problem. Versus a
yeah.
parent that like actually buys them a starter home, or at least gives them money for a down payment or something, or does a co-payment or something like what and I would imagine any normal parent would want to do. They'd want to give them a start in life.
Well, see, that's the thing though, is like, with my family didn't have shit, right?
Not
Like,
either.
dinner for us was, a $3 rotisserie chicken and some canned veggies, and that would feed three of us. You know what I mean?
Oh, I definitely know what you mean.
So
There was
yeah, so
many
like,
there was many days where we didn't get any food at all. I mean, like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
relied on the food at school when I go to school and get the lunch, whatever. I mean, like it was that bad.
I was born and raised trailer trash, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my
All right,
parents had a really nice house, but that didn't have anything to do with my ability to eat.
right, right. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. All right. So for BLM Antifa, I have: is lethal force ever justified in a riot? What is the best remedy for riots? What does rioting accomplish? Do BLM and Gen 6 rioters, should BLM and Gen 6 rioters be prosecuted the same way? And do Black Lives matter more than any other lives? And then next is politicians. Yeah. Oh, dude. I had my childhood was fine. I wasn't bitching. Um I just, my family didn't like, there was nothing, they didn't have anything to give me. You know what I mean? Like when I got older, like I had to buy my own first car. I had to work for, I worked for everything, you know. Term limits. Ooh, yeah. Are they paid liars? Yeah. I put that one in because I feel pretty strongly about that. Should they forfeit, or should they liquidate their stocks before? Ah, should they liquidate their portfolios and be banned from trading while in office? Should they be on trial for receiving foreign money from a tiny state in the Middle East? Absolutely based. Oh, Corey, that's a fucking good one, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Achilles. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I mean, I think
Before.
politicians should
I'm
definitely
sorry.
be not allowed to trade in the stock market,
Is Orange
especially if
Man bad? I'm
they
listening.
work
Sorry.
on things that if they're passing legislation on it, they shouldn't be able to touch that stock. They should know not to do that. It should be common sense that they shouldn't
Not to do what?
invest in a stock that they're working on legislation that benefits for or
That's what they
against
do,
all.
man.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. Like that. That's why I say an easy fix for that is when someone goes into How bad in the meanie scale is Orange Man? That's hilarious. They liquidate their portfolios and they are banned from trading while they're in office.
Yeah.
So that way they can't reap the benefits of any of the regulations that they sign into law, right?
Mm-hmm. And then with the way they're getting around potential happiness to have other people do it for them, they shouldn't even have that because they're obviously just going to tell that person what they want to do. I mean, for the same reason, somebody at McDonald's can't play the games when they come out.
All right. Is it gay to kiss a bro goodnight? Rude, you're fucking crazy, dude. I like that one too, Achilles. That's good. Yeah. If she can't say no, did she say no?
I mean, Achilles, yeah. I mean, should there be accountability for politicians that don't do their job? I mean, that's a big question. There should be.
Represent their constituents.
Maybe some competition needs to be added somehow. To where the most honest or well-meaning politicians get rewarded for, I don't know. That's a work in progress.
Rude, that's fucking hilarious, dude. All right. Okay, I think I got it. All right, so I'm going to run through this. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Okay. So here's all the topics and all the prompts. Okay. So for abortion, I have induced birth versus abortion. My body, my choice. Is it forcing them to stay pregnant if they choose to have sex? When does the baby become a life with value? Get away with hammer time. Yeah, no shit. All right, for First Amendment, I have what is hate speech and is it hate? Should hate speech be censored? Should Christians take control of the government and use force to impose morality? Can we truly have separation of church and state? War is, should we reinstitute the draft? Mandatory 2-year service to vote? Should we exert power over the rest of the world? Are military strikes a declaration of war? Lowest harm versus greatest good? Should there be a black budget where our finances are hidden from Americans? Oh, that's called the Pentagon. All right, and the wild card is, should we be able to hold the medical industry accountable? Is the economy able to self-regulate, or does it have to be under a moral system? Is semantics important in a debate? Individual rights or national security? Should jabs be a societal requirement? Is privilege an unappreciated trait by those privileged? Is homelessness a choice that should be respected? Are kids the cure to nihilism? What is the purpose of prison reform and does it work? And should everyone be given a home? Fat people. Is being morbidly obese beautiful? Should people be more conscious of their health? Is fat acceptance good for society? Oh, can free trade be detrimental to the economic market? Can free trade be detrimental to the economic market? That's a good one, Corey. Does she need internet access in the kitchen? Bro. Oh, that's fucking hilarious, Rude. All right. Okay. All right. Is fat acceptance good for society? And what is better, acceptance or self improvement? And then accountability. Do some homeless people deserve to be homeless? At what point does a woman put herself in a position to be attacked? That's going to piss some people off. Should any group be a protected class? And why should the country pay for your student loans? Under LGBTQ, should people be proud of basic instinct? Are people born gay? Why do other people need to affirm transgenderism? And why do women feel offended when confused with a transgender person? For Second Amendment, I have should gun safety and responsibility be taught in schools? At what point are gun restrictions a violation of the Second Amendment? Yo, what up, Jeremy? Welcome in. Is this chairman of the board raiding me? No shit, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, man. Should organizations that attack the Second Amendment be prosecuted for sedition? Oh, JS, dude. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, JS. Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking clutch, bro. Thank you. For real, bro. That's awesome. Thank you very much, man. All right. At what point does self-defense become schmurder? That's for Second Amendment. For BLM Antifa, I have, is lethal force ever justified in a riot? What is the best remedy for riots? What does rioting accomplish? Should BLM and Gen 6ers be prosecuted the same way? And do Black Lives matter more than any other lives? And then for politicians, I have, should there be term limits? Are they paid liars? Should they liquidate their portfolios before entering and be banned from trading while in office? Should whistleblowers be prosecuted for leaking information? Gorilla Biscuits, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And then, should politicians take a pay cut if they don't represent their constituents? By the way, guys, thanks for jumping in. Really appreciate the raid. Thank you, JS. You're the fucking man, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So today is going to be the launch of the town hall debates, right? Are you crazy? What's going on, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. It was fun jumping on Speakeasy's panel with you earlier. Thanks for debating and throwing fists with me, man. That was great. So today is going to be the launch of the town hall, right? It's just new debate format that I'm going to have. So I have a loose idea of how to kind of structure this thing, and I promise I'm going to be jumping in and just letting this thing evolve however it needs to, right? So right here, there's this little thing. I'm going to try and figure out if there's a way that I can get this outside of this format, so I don't have to pull this up every time, But it's just a little spinning wheel. I got some topics, and then on these topics, war is the result, right? And then I have a bunch of different just prompts for each different topic. So the idea is it's 20-minute debates. It'd be like if openers are elective. So if people want to give an opening argument, if they feel like they know the topic strongly enough that they can give an opening argument, people want to actually do that kind of thing, they can. So start off with, if you want to do openers, 2.5 minutes. If you don't want to do openers, it's a 20-minute debate, right? So we could do like the first 10 minutes is like kind of a back and forth, asking questions, what's that, like cross examination kind of thing. And then the last 10 minutes is just a straight fucking duke it out. Corey, is EOD really a ginger? Or is he doing it for ginger privilege? Yeah, no shit, dude. And then it's going to be done in like a bracket style, like a tournament, right? Hey, Badahar, man, thanks for jumping in, bro. I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for being here, man. For real, means a lot, dude. Thank you.
I got a new one. Can employers give IQ tests to their new when they're looking for a new hire?
We can add that in wildcard for sure.
Because right now I think it's illegal.
Was it like fucking stupid discrimination or something?
I mean, because they know it would discriminate on certain races and stuff like that. But I don't think that's fair. It's not fair to the person that has the higher IQ.
Yeah, so it's not racial discrimination if you're just fucking dumb. You know what I mean? That's a good way around it, I guess. I don't know. Should employers be able to give IQ tests? Able to give IQ tests to new hires. Is it moral for gingers to be given money to paint his hair ginger?
I mean, don't say to new hires because that means they're already hired. You would have
StreamYard link, is it not up, Bill Hicks? Is it not in chat? It should be pinned. Yeah, it's pinned up top.
Yeah, I said that at first, but don't word it that way because new hires are already hired. But can they give IQ tests to recruits, to people they're recruiting or looking at for employment?
Yeah, they do something similar to that, man. It's called the ASVAB, obviously, but it's not. It's less of like an IQ test, and it's more of like an aptitude battery, which is where when you take it, they just kind of see like how proficient you are in different areas, and where just what would be the most like optimal place to put you. What's up, Bill Hicks? Welcome in, dude. Glad you made it in today, bro.
Hey. I just came in to say hello and good luck with the debate format. I'm really enjoying this brainstorming. Every time somebody mentions a topic, I keep wanting to immediately engage and say, no, this is what I think. And then I realize, oh, wait, no, we're saving that for later. But they're pretty good topics. Good work, mate.
Oh, the ASVAB.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're just fucking tossing stuff together, man, seeing if something works, Like, that's what this thing's going to be, bro. So I'm going to do it every Saturday and Tuesday and, starting this thing out, bro, just going to be throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks,
Well, see, here's what's funny about bringing up the ASVAB is military is who invented the IQ test. And so it looks like the ASVAB is just another way to test it without calling it an IQ test.
That's fair.
The military fair. Again. It's still military.
Yeah,
I remember taking that.
If I'm gonna get a 72, I hope it's on the ASVAB. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, the questions were like so.
So I'm pretty dumb. Easy. I only just realized recently that the way that the IQ testing works is it keeps getting adjusted. So the mean, the average is always at 100. So when people say that IQ levels are dropping, I keep thinking, oh yeah, people are going down to like 80 or 100. But what that 100 means is something.
Hold on, Bill, you're kind of breaking up a little bit, brother. Yeah.
My bad.
ASVAB is just for military. Yeah. No, I can hear you now, bro. You're clear now. Hello?
So have you guys done any of these IQ tests? I keep meaning to do one. I think I've done one, as a kid. But yeah, I'm sort of just afraid to see if I'm retarded or not, but what I was saying is that they say that the IQ levels are sort of dropping. I mean, they're kept on being lifted up, but that kind of maybe was sort of artificially the case, if that makes sense. So I guess what my point is, is that I kept thinking that if IQ levels are dropping, that means that instead of the mean being at 100, then maybe most people are like at 80 or 70 or something. But then I realized no, that just what that 100 points means is something different now because they keep adjusting, depending on what the average is.
That's pretty
Does that make
crazy,
I
sense?
didn't
man.
know that. Let me
Yeah, no, it
check and see
does.
if that's
Well,
true.
isn't like it? I was always under the impression that like the average was like 110, like 105 to 110, right?
So I guess if I were to take an IQ test and say it's over 100 or 110, I could think of myself as pretty intelligent, right? But then compared to the fact that the mean is dropping all the time, that might just mean that I'm, like a retard from 50 years ago, but I'm not as retarded as people are now.
Well, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still the score is still the same unless you can show me a link to show different. But I think the IQ score is still the same. But if people are scoring lower, yeah, that would be a separate topic.
Well,
But
that's what I
fortunately
mean, though,
for
is
me, for
if
us, is
people are
that
scoring
as
lower
we
in terms of what,
yeah.
so if they are scoring lower in the actual test, then those lower scores are adjusted and they're still within that mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So they'll
I don't
still
know if
be
they're
within the
adjusted.
100, kind of like in the center of the bell curve there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Maybe I don't know if that's the case because we apply it all over the world, the same IQ test. So I don't think it's adjusted to the population. But one good thing about it is the it has some adjustments within the test. So like I don't have to score as high as I used to because I'm older. So it gives me a little bit of a benefit for that, now, which it should be because we lose our IQ over time. The older we get, the more
Well,
lesser
what
our
I
IQ
also find
is.
interesting is that because it's got all these different metrics, right? So sorry, my phone. Bloody, wait a second. So, like, say for instance, I might have high verbal IQ, but like retarded in sort of spatial things, and it'll just kind of figure out something in the middle there. So, like for instance, people always say, "Oh, Andrew Wilson is very intelligent." And he goes, "Yeah, he might be in certain aspects, but then that would be kind of adjusted for with his other retardation and other things in life,
Oh,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
other
fair,
metrics."
fair.
There is that, but the IQ is just a general IQ. What you're referring to, I believe, is when there's specific types of IQs, which I think people should take all of them if they want to really understand. Because, like, for example, I took this one IQ that was like so embarrassingly low. I don't remember which one it was, and I can't find it today. But yeah, it was embarrassing. But I did really good on some of them. But yeah, we can't. Most people don't score. Like I think what you're saying is they don't score super high if they are high on all of them. There are some where they struggle with. I'm gonna look them up right now. Different IQ tests. I'm
See,
trying to remember the name of the guy that.
I don't think I've ever taken an IQ test. I think I might have taken one online or something, but I don't count that. I've never taken like a
I mean, there's good
legit
ones
like
online.
I just I mean, and when I say that, bro, I'm talking. I was like 16 back in MySpace days and shit. Hey, what's going on, dude? Welcome in, bro.
Yo, what's up, man? I was just in between where I'm going for my job. I figured I'd stop in and say what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. So
Mm.
I got a whole bunch of prompts and stuff, bro. I can actually send all this over to you on Discord, bro. You might
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
you might like these, dude.
I mean, like
We'll
you don't
see.
want to take one online IQ test and say, "Oh, that's my IQ." You want to take like multiple, so you have like, so you can't say like, if you're getting 100 on three IQs in a row, you probably have 100 IQ. You know what I mean? But if you only
What's
take one,
interesting
you don't.
also is that you can sort of train yourself for that particular type of test, so that would also skew the results, And also,
Yeah.
last point I would make about IQ is as far as figuring out your own sort of strengths and weaknesses. Whoop, it's spinning, it's spinning. Where are we? But amendment. Um, so yeah, you can train yourself to sort of get good at the test, but as far as predicting, outcomes for yourself or like gauging, your own abilities, I guess that has some use. But really, I think IQ tests are better for predicting outcomes of populations. I think. Like,
Really?
statistically speaking.
See, I don't know any of the science behind that shit. No, I'm
So
not
lower
saying I'm.
class. Are you ever putting? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just. All I was saying was I really haven't looked that far into it. I've heard more refutations of the kind of system that they utilize for it. So it's never been anything I've really taken seriously. It seems like most people kind of criticize the way that the IQ tests are done. I just don't know, right? Like I think I did an IQ test online back when like MySpace was still a thing, but that was fucking years ago. You know what I mean? So I really
Okay,
don't.
boomer.
Boomer. Most boomers don't know what MySpace is, bro.
Fair.
Look,
Fair.
anyone that's not Gen Z is a boomer nowadays. All right, so that's just
Yeah.
how it goes.
Well, one
MySpace.
thing I want to
That's in
get,
the good old days of the internet.
I got to get this one out. When I'm talking about IQ, I don't want it to, I don't want to sound like it's the end all be all. Like if somebody has a high IQ, that's great. It does, but there's a lot of other things that we as people,
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
good.
common sense is
That's what I'm
something that
getting
people
to. So,
use.
like, for predicting outcomes for populations, right? It's a useful metric, but for the individual, like you say, it's not the be all and end all, right? So you might be really high IQ, but still be a
Sounds
fuck up,
like low
right? So,
IQ cope to me.
well,
Low IQ
fuck
cope
you.
going
You beat
on.
me to it, right? I was going to say that people that say that, IQ metrics aren't all that. It's just low
No,
IQ cope. But
it isn't.
you
It
beat me to
isn't.
it. You fuck.
It's yeah. It's not that
Like you can
important,
have a
honestly.
really high IQ and still be really stupid.
Yeah, look at this cunt beside me.
Well, hey, thanks for saying I have a high IQ, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, like extrapolation of information and how you like can problem solve and shit doesn't really fucking help you much in life. Like if you've got shit like focus on in work tasks, and if you've got shit memory, and
Mhm.
if you can't retain information very well, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Like you need to have a whole heap of skills. Like a high IQ
Like
is just a gas.
gullibility is a problem.
Yeah. A high IQ is just think of it as a gas tank. Like, but if you can't fill that gas tank real well, you ain't going very fucking far.
That's a
Yeah.
good
You
metaphor.
got a bigger gas tank than
Yeah,
most
see, so
people, but
using
that's
metaphors,
about it.
that's the type of intelligence too. I think Rude Mudcrab is
Yeah.
pretty high IQ, despite being a
Oh, I agree.
libertarian fucking centrist F slur. He
I
is
agree.
pretty high IQ.
Yeah, dude, I will say,
A real conservative would just say it, pussy.
Behader. Is that how you say that, bro? I want to say your name right. It's Behader, Bahador, however you say it. That's a fucking that is a based comment, dude. The ASVAB's a better test for if Mel is above. Fucking wild, damn it. But no, ASVAB is to me that is definitely a test that I think that is going to show. It's going to show a lot more of the direction of where you can go in life because it's literally where it grades your aptitudes, right, in all sorts of different fields and puts those together.
So what I see the ADVAB is it's an improvement on the IQ, which was created by the military to sort through their new draft of people. They needed to put them into the proper roles within the military, and they used it as a way to sort through and say, okay, you scored high, you're probably apt for this. And so what the ADVAP did is it added more elements to be able to look at to classify people for the proper job that they could do well. And but it's been a long time that we have multiple intelligences. I had to look it up because there's like 8 that I can see. There's spatial, there's bodily, kinesthetic, musical, linguistic, logical, mathematical, interpersonal.
pattern
Um,
recognition, right?
well, pattern recognition is the
Emotional.
that's what the main thing of IQ is, pattern recognition. But this breaks it down into I was giving you an example. So like my musical intelligence sucks ass.
Yeah.
Total retard with music intelligence. So it is helpful to look at the separate ones, I think. But I've talked to many psychiatrists who don't think. They think the IQ is the only one. I don't agree. Don't ask me to dance.
I mean, it's okay.
You
You don't
expect me to be able to dance.
It's okay. You don't go to a pseudoscientist for an answer on science.
Well, I mean,
Hey.
IQ is created by a pseudoscientist, really. But yeah, they did a good job. I think
The
they did a
study
good
of the
job.
mind isn't the study of the brain. You can try to study the mind all you want, but you'll never have enough data to actually extrapolate that into a real point. It's always going to be conjecture.
We're trying to. I mean, what they were trying to do is figure out their skill, what they can accomplish, and put them into the proper role within the military. And I think they've done a pretty good job with that. It saves a lot of time. You don't want to put an 80 IQ
I
guy
don't know,
in
man.
as
I don't know.
captain.
I don't know.
It's the only standardized test that is actually legitimate today that I know of.
The ASVAB?
No, well, again, ADVAB
I'd say
is
the
based
ASVAB's the
on the
only good one.
IQ. The ADVAB is based on the IQ. So yes, they're both created by the military, and they're both interrelated.
You're talking about
IQ is
musical
used to base ADVAB.
intelligence. No, you're talking.
Where's the standardized test
Where
for
did I
I used
musical
to
intelligence?
DJ. Like I can count to 4, and I know like when to mix in the next beat. Is that musical intelligence?
No.
1, 2,
No,
3, 4. Bow, 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 bow. Hell yeah.
Anyway, guys, I just came on just to wish lower class the best with the debate platform, and that's about it. I got to go, but I just thought I'd say hello. So
Thanks,
hello,
Bill Hicks. Thanks
all the
for
best.
stopping in,
Good luck.
brother. Have a
God
great
bless,
night,
guys.
dude. God bless, dude. God bless.
Yeah,
Hey, lower
tweak it,
class. I
pussy.
wanted to.
I'll
Hey, I
send you a
wanted to let
banner
you know.
so you can
Yeah, I saw. I got. I'm on my phone right now, so I got to swap
naked
over.
bitch.
So
Make
I
your
could
fucking
get.
naked profile.
Please don't send me no
Yeah.
naked shit. No, lower class. The one thing that I know that you missed that you weren't there for, man. Dude, I was just going in on people. I don't know what happened when Rob came in, even though he wasn't really paying attention to what I was saying. And he says, yeah, whatever. I like whatever. Or something about me rocking or something about the way I looked. And it's that he knows that I was right. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to keep going in on people the rest of the night. I'm just not going to stop.
Dude, you and Dariak were going at each other's throats, man. That was wild. I've never seen y'all.
I do that
That's
to everybody if they make a stupid point.
Yeah, I just basically kept my mouth shut for most of that, man. I was
Yeah,
just
I
listening.
saw.
I just whenever Kieran would pipe in and say some shit, I had to fucking
Yeah.
rip him about it though, dude. I couldn't help
That's
myself.
cool. I was ripping him for a while because he was trying to make the stupid point for the longest time that like women should do all these things to respect men. But then when I asked him what should men do to respect women, his only answer was die for them. I'm like, so you think that dying for women is the only thing that we should do to show that we respect them? And it was just a constant shit on how he feels about women, which is kind of funny to me.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Uh,
I didn't
you got to
have
do
too
more
much
than that.
to add to that conversation. That's why I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna fucking.
Well, I don't really have too much to add to the conversation where they're trying to have me have a debate with him because I've already demonstrated how his point was moot, but there's still somehow a debate on it. But okay.
Yeah. No,
It
I
just
get it.
makes no sense to me because he literally couldn't demonstrate his point, and I demonstrated against it.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you guys can set that up, dude, and you can knock that out.
I guess that's already got the one versus Emmett, though. That's the one that's going to take the most mental capacity.
What?
Yeah.
No one take mental capacity, bro. Don't worry about that one.
I'm talking about the semantical debate that I'm about to be in with this fucktard, okay?
Yeah. So,
I already asked him this just so you know, since you're the moderator. I've already established terms. I just need to get the date for you. I asked him to make sure, and sure the fuck enough, he's going with the literal no means no, and not the we're not agreeing. We're both not agreeing on that meaning a specific thing, other than exactly what the debate prop reads. No means no. There's nothing inferred on the meaning, if that makes sense.
Oh, so KNOW doesn't mean no?
No, it's NO means
Okay.
NO. So yeah, and I
So
have to argue that semantically.
nitrous oxide doesn't mean no?
No, isn't that NO2? Isn't that NO2?
No.
No, but it'll be fun. It'll be a fun debate because it's funny. This is what actually happened, Rude. I had originally told him he was the first person I ever told about that prompt right around the time that you were telling me about how much of a cunt he was, and
Yeah.
it was funny
he's not
because
a
I was
cunt.
just like, "Hey,
He's
you
just
want to debate it?" Yeah. And then I said, "Do you want to debate it with me?" And he was like, "Absolutely not." And I was like, "Okay." And then we were just sitting here up here on the panel yesterday in lower class, and he comes in and he basically is like, "No. I was sitting there, I was thinking about it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I finally thought of an argument." I was like, "I fucking figured you did." Now I have to fight. Now I have to go against someone who's literally been thinking about the argument that he's going to use for a week. Ugh, it's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
Oh yeah, 100%. When do you and Emmett think you'd be able to do that?
It's gonna be soon. I need to wait for tomorrow so I can figure something out, and then I'll
Yeah.
know a little bit more.
Because he's in college, bro. So he's a busy guy. During the week may not work. It might have to be next weekend.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll figure out exactly what.
Just don't cheat. Don't use the
What?
periodic table.
Shut up, dude. Why are you giving away my strategy? You can't be telling people my argument, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna report you to the debate authorities.
No, fair. Debate, please.
The debate police. Yeah. We gotta get some people in here. Like Duck is one of them, I believe. I think he'd be a good police officer for the debate world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd
good
like
one.
to frisk people for sure.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Well, if we're gonna add frisking into the mix, you're gonna have to add our favorite superhero, Ryan.
You just want to get frisked by him so bad.
Oh, absolutely not. I just want an excuse to shoot.
Fuck.
You know, we tote guns in America.
That's right, Bill. No
I know
means
you don't.
now.
I don't know. No means right now. Exactly. Oh man, it'll be fun. I don't like debating people that don't actually argue. Like they don't debate. Like they just keep saying the same shit and asserting it after I've already proven it wrong. And I feel like Teriak is very bad at that. So
Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see your debate with him. It's funny because typically he's more of like he more debates like lefties and stuff, dude.
yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. But he has this weird stagnant view of women that has been. He's either black pilled or red pilled. If he believes what he believes, not black pilled or red pill. Sorry, he's more feminist. Is what I'm saying. I don't know why I said that. I said that he's gotten the opposite of that. Wow, I'm stupid. That's a feminist talking point that he's using, which doesn't make sense because his worldview doesn't believe in feminism.
Yeah, I mean, I would never
He's-
consider him a feminist.
Well, no, you have to. If he's arguing that women are more capable than they're leading men on to believe, that means that women don't need men to protect them. That's a feminist belief. That's inherently feminism. There's no way you can get around that. It's an entailment of the logic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same reason. Like when a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I'm not a feminist." It's like, but you literally believe in like a feminist belief that's like kind of like central to the idea of feminism. The idea of feminism being that women are equal to men, meaning that women don't need men. Like the logic goes straight there. It's pretty self-explanatory.
We'll see what happens though, bro. I'm definitely
seemed
looking
pretty
forward to seeing
obvious.
the debate. For sure.
If women were equal to men,
We'll see.
we wouldn't get stabbed in our sleep by them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I mean, if women were equal to men, then there would be no women that have no rights and that are told what to do every day and have to cover up and But that doesn't happen in America and in the world. Sorry.
Do you think
Definitely
culture
doesn't
should be preserved?
Think what?
I really don't. I don't.
So you don't think culture should be preserved at all? Like no sort of culture?
Well, I would say that it would be an all or none. So you either preserve all cultures or you preserve no cultures, and you just let things go.
See, I don't look at things in that kind of scale. Like in America, we don't have the same type of culture as other countries. You know,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I would say like preserving American culture for me is the only one I give a fuck about.
Yeah, but the problem is that our culture is so different that it's not really granular. In order to save America's culture, you'd have to save a lot of cultures. You couldn't just save American isn't just a one fundamental ideology. If you look at the current spectrum of basically debaters, for instance, who debate politics, you have so many different positions that they hold from right to left that they believe very, very, very different things. And I know that you would say that doesn't go with culture, but a lot of the reasons they do believe those things is because of their culture. And that's what happens when you create a melting pot. So our society before, if you're talking about our founding fathers' principles and the way that our country was founded, I
Yeah,
might agree with you. But
that's
right
what I
now,
was leaning on. Yeah,
yeah, well, see, we're not on that anymore. Right now, we're fighting on what this country even means anymore. So it's like
yeah.
you'd have to get this country back to its fundamentals and understanding the principles that it was founded on more before you could preserve anything. So right now, if you were to preserve American culture, you'd be preserving some pretty shitty stuff.
I mean, yeah, yeah, that's well. I see. I don't know about that though. Like for me, I would if when I talk about preserving culture, I'm not talking about preserving other countries' cultures, right? I'm talking about preserving
No,
specifically like what's written in the
mass
Constitution.
mass protests and burning cars and these things right here. This has become a cultural thing on the left, for instance. Okay, this is all different races and creeds, but they're Americans and they believe and have American values, quote unquote. So it would lead me to believe that you would be wanting to preserve that form in our culture too, where people are going to at mass protest government when it's a just government, not an unjust government. For mind you, we're not talking about something that's they're like trying to stop a regime change or whatever. They like to use that word a lot, so it's kind of in my head. I don't believe that you would be preserving fundamental American values if you preserve that part of today's culture, because that's legitimately a part of our culture right now. That's
See,
accepted.
what I think is whoever's in power just needs to start throwing the fucking book at these people and giving them
Less of a
incredibly
target.
harsh prosecutions so people
I
realize
agree.
we go
I
out and
agree.
we burn cars and smash windows and throw fucking fireworks and piss bottles at police officers and
Label it
destroy cop
terrorism.
cars and spray paint shit all over the city. You're going to go to prison for 15 years and you're going to
That
sit
should be
there.
labeled as domestic terrorism, in my opinion.
Like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think
but
if
see,
those
we don't
kind of
live in that
punishments
world.
are levied on these people, it's going to incentivize them not to do this shit.
Well,
But
of
like
course, but we
the
don't live
issue
in
is,
that world, though.
yeah. Oh, you're good, Curve. Don't worry about it, man.
It was a deliberately stupid question, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'll argue anything, crap.
Like we do preserve culture. We do that through history books. But
yeah.
No, of course, I understand that.
culture's naturally wax and wane. Like yeah.
I will say though, dude, he did have
Yeah.
a good point about how like we are starting to become like a riot culture. It's like obviously that's part of like societal unrest, but that's something that
Fucking
people genuinely like hold in high regard in some circles. Is yeah, I was out in L.A. Did you see me on that Waymo car? Like that's something that's becoming part of the culture, and that's why
I would say it's become so much of our culture that it's become a casual conversation. Be like, let's go to brunch, and then we'll go to the protest, and then we'll go out shopping. Like it's gotten to the point where it's just so ingrained in their society that people do it casually.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
looting
not even
stores.
joking. Like that's yeah. Well, that's another part of it. But like, I'm just talking about the baseline, like thinking that protests are the same as a fashion statement because it supports what they believe in. It's a part of the culture in a way that's probably detrimental to our culture.
Yeah, lethal force for domestic terries, man. Like that's what I have to say. Fuck them,
Get all
seriously.
them dirty mud crabs the fuck out of here. Send those mud
man,
crabs back to their countries.
you won't catch me fucking riding. That's just retarded.
Yeah, no, but I was like calling you.
That's base, Mad Matt, for real. Mob rule, yeah. You need the bigger mob. That's the thing, right? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
understand
but the
why.
bigger mob wouldn't matter if it
No,
was all women.
bigger mob definitely matters.
No, I said it wouldn't matter if it were all women. Is what I'm saying, and then the other
Oh
side
yeah,
was
hundred
men.
percent. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I was. This is a part of the debate with me and Tariak. That's why I think it's fucking funny.
Yeah. See, what I was thinking is you had 100 women with guns and real bullets, and then 100 men with guns and rubber bullets. Wouldn't even stand a chance.
I would say that even if you took the men's guns away, they wouldn't stand a chance. I don't think that more than no, because I don't think that I'll have to look it up. I'm just too lazy to do it. But I don't think that many percentage of women will be able to consistently fire or accurately fire those rounds. Like these women have to be trained a long time, and most of them don't become marksmen for a lot longer.
Well, when we're talking about 100 people, there's not much aiming you have to do, bro. All you have to make sure is it goes in one direction. That's
Yeah,
that.
but
If you
how
have
many of
one man, you
themselves
can
are they
take.
going to end up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good point. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the ones that want to stop and post for Instagram? Okay, what about what
Right.
about the?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
come on, dude.
How many
What
are going
about
to
the one
show
that
up
thinks
late?
he's too cute to shoot? So I'm gonna pretend to shoot at him.
Yeah.
He's way
Fucking
too cute to
safety's
shoot. I
still
don't want
on.
to shoot him. The safety
Can't
is
forget
still
How do I
on.
work
Yeah,
this thing?
yeah. Motherfuckers over here trying to use Age of
Fair.
Empires cheats. How do I turn this thing on?
Based.
It's just no. It's just like there's so many factors
Based.
that go into like the differences. It's so fucking funny to me.
Yeah,
And now I
100%.
have to argue this damn Irish feminist or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think we can all agree. The right of women to vote, women's suffrage, big fucking mistake.
I mean, I would say it was a mistake, but now that it's here, yeah, walking it back would be pretty detrimental, I think.
Do you think
I've always joked and said
It
that
would be
like
a
you
really
can take their
unpopular
rights
decision, that's for
away.
sure.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
just the unpopular decision. I think it would be dangerous because I don't think our today's modern women are acclimated to being subjugated to, I would say, true like leadership from their partners. So I think it would be probably really dangerous for us, and that would make them more violent than they already are in the home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really do. I think that those two would correlate. I mean, again, I don't have any proof of that. It's just what I think.
I mean, yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. For me, I don't know if there's really like any kind of solution to that now because it was like 100 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So could send him to prison, give him a taste of real world for once. No shit, dude. That's fucking based. Yeah, I. It's unfortunate that we're at where we're at, but I'm not black pilled. I can't be. You know what I mean?
I'm not anything. I don't like to take pills. They make my tongue hurt.
Yeah, right. I see. I just the black pilled the black pilled stance is just such a fucking cop out to me. It's like people who genuinely like consider themselves black pilled. I can't help but think
They're
you're
retarded.
just like it's just such a bitch way to look at things, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
woe is me.
it's
Pity, poor me. This is where we're at. Nothing's gonna change. And it's like, why are you even here then? Like, what are you doing?
it's
You know what
for
I mean?
true male feminism.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking crazy, dude. I don't get it. Stand up for yourself. Fucking, at least try. What's the harm in trying?
I mean, it could be jail. It could be public shaming. It could be a lot of things that would happen if you just try to be a man around women these days.
I don't know. I don't think I'd ever go to jail just for being myself. Based. People are not informed. The only debate they may even watch this year is like Tate versus Bonnie, and already have so many preconceived notions. They all tune it all. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're not listening to what's actually going on. It's just the seeking for confirmation bias.
Yeah,
That's what a
I
lot of
mean,
this stuff.
they do it in all directions too. It's how they affirm their gods, like destiny on that side of the sphere, and then they basically talk like, "Oh, Andrew Tate's so horrible. Everything he says is so bad." It's like, no, it's like 10 to 15% of what Andrew Tate says is really bad. I mean, the majority of what he says is just like a self-help book for men, but he does have some percentage of what he says that's pretty not good. Like they just take that and they make it like the whole overarching point. But they do that with everyone on the right. They do it with Andrew. Hell, they do it with fucking Brian on whatever, bro. And that dude's like he doesn't even really put his position out there like that.
See, I myself, I haven't really looked into like all the stuff that Andrew Tate teaches and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't like the guy, bro. I'm very against idolatry, and that's just like a personal principle that I have. Where like I'm in this world to become me. You know what I mean? Like to become the most me that I possibly can be. And I feel like spending too much time listening to what like one single individual says instead of like kind of absorbing multiple
Of course.
perspectives and information, for me that's
all
a
those
lot.
red pill dudes are pieces of
He
shit.
takes
Dude.
certain things to, but he turns certain things to their extreme. Like he takes the conclusion that women are men's property. Now, the language itself is very iffy for some people because, in my view, it's a true statement, but the way he means it, it's not, because he believes it in the practically literal sense, in the sense that like it is the father's duty to make sure he hands her over as property to whoever is going to be taking care of her, basically. I believe that in like a spiritual sense. I don't mean that. I don't believe that in like a literal sense.
Was he a
But
fucking
he believes
Muslim?
it literal. Well, that's what I've always thought that he ascribes to, but I think he might claim to be something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I just that's not a worldview I can really subscribe to, man.
Mm-mm. I mean, it's a true enough statement that in most marriages, that's what it was about: the exchange of property or exchange of goods for that to even occur. But like the idea that they're literal property is kind of silly. You can't own a person legally unless we change those laws.
Yeah. GB says, I saw Tate on Tom Squirrel's podcast 5 years ago. It was clear it was all a joke. What it is now, I don't know, but that's what it was. Similar to Proud Boys, seems so anyway. Yeah, I mean, see, I don't know. Like,
It wasn't obvious that it was a joke.
For me, I haven't spent too much time looking into him and like hearing all the stuff that he says and all that. I know like he's really influential to the younger generation. And kind of like what Rude Crab says, like there's a lot of these red pill guys that it's like the male version of feminism. Some of them take it that far. So,
It's worse, dude. It's worse because the whole goal is to take advantage of fucking young incel fuckwits who are lost and paid a fucking subscription service to their bullshit.
Yeah.
No, but see, again, I'm the other side of that coin that shows that I can demonstrate that all day that you're wrong about the red pill space, because without the red pill, I wouldn't exist as I do now. I'd
Do you
be a
believe good
walking,
things
talking
can come out
figurehead for
of?
the left.
Do you believe some good things can come out of
I
bad shit?
came out of it.
Yeah. Do you believe some
No,
good
I
things
believe
can
that
come out of
more. I
bad
believe
shit?
that more good things. I think more good things have come out of the red pill than bad shit. Actually, I think it's the other way around.
Seriously?
I think that the red pill is the I think that the red pill is the reason why
Which
there's a
red pill?
movement
Which
against
red pill
feminism.
shit did you follow? Which red pill shit were you into?
I'm talking overarching. Red pill is the reason for the pushback against feminism right now, and the entirety of feminism being pushed back. Like, I don't think you understand that. That's the only reason there is a movement. There was
Yeah, but you
never a movement
understand
prior.
they're both two retarded sides creating recruits for the
No,
other
of course.
side. With
No,
their retarded
I
shit.
advocate.
It's not
I
pushing
advocate
back. It's actually creating more feminist fuckwits.
More
No,
division. Yeah.
I would say more division until we push back all the way. I think that it's a good tool to use until we can start to get rid of feminism, but I don't think that it's meant to stick around.
You're
That's my
never going to get rid of feminism, bro. It's like blowing up a fucking blowing up a business in some fucking Muslim country and expecting that you're not going to create another fucking 1,000 extremists.
Right.
Like
It's
you're creating more problems.
Yeah. That's based. Yeah, so totally lost my train of thought. Sorry. I've been up all fucking night, dude. I got booted from VK.
Is that what happened on your VK?
Oh yeah, dude. Once I got booted from VK, I went straight to Jess's instead of going straight to bed, and now here I am. So I'm setting this all up. I'm gonna get
Should go to bed.
try to get like an hour of sleep or something, and then I'm gonna run this bait. Well, I'm just gonna caffeine the fuck up, dude, and then instead of laying on the couch, I'm just gonna sit here and get through it, and then once I'm done, it'll be over. GB, thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Then what debate are you running?
What's up, Rude?
You doing a debate?
Well, town hall's
Town
today,
hall.
bro.
Oh, is it? Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck, your time's all fucked up.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, he fucked his time up.
Yo, it's like I'm about to go to bed. It's like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah. It's 10 a.m. over here. So
I'd stay
you're in
up,
the
but
future right
I
now,
got
Rude.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't have any kids.
Yeah, I gotta wake up for them little shitters in the
Yeah,
6 a.m.
the ones that he stole.
Yeah, stole.
That's what Chinese
Kidnapper.
do, blowing up their own shit. Yeah, man, fucking
I'm gonna.
just
Did
run it.
your police officer show up on kangaroos?
What? What was that?
I said, did your police officers show up on kangaroos?
No. Our cops show up like we don't have cops like the UK. Actually, proper police.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, I remember. So earlier, what I was gonna say is, I think the smartest move. Now, hear me out. All right, just hear me out here. Okay. The thing that Charlie Kirk did, where he had all those women do that big thing for women, that was like the conservative
Whoa,
woman
I don't want
thing,
to know the big thing that he had them do.
where he had
That's
like
pretty
Nala
gay.
Ray and a bunch of like really controversial kind of picks,
Oh God, you
Go-
mean
go
the
and talk-
fucking? Oh,
Look, hold on though, bro. That's what I'm saying is like, when you have people like I'm the only like red pill person I know is like Andrew Tate. I don't really know any others, right? Like I wouldn't consider Andrew Wilson a red pill guy, I wouldn't consider the Brian from whatever podcast red pill necessarily. Maybe, I don't know, but
I would say at one point. I would say at one point.
I would say
possibly.
definitely behaves red pill.
Yeah,
I don't know if he pushes the ideology.
I
but-
would say at one point he was.
But I would say any of those, okay, let's just lump them all into one. You have a bunch of dudes telling women how to act. What's up, Emmett? Good to see you, man. It's not going to be anywhere
Man,
near
fuck
as
this
effective
cracker.
as if you have a bunch of women, whether they're, reformed, like quote unquote reformed hoes or not. Yeah. Myron, that he's definitely one.
Yeah,
But
Myron Gaines. Yeah.
when you have a bunch of like women talking to other women, that's going to be a lot more effective because bitches don't want to listen to us, bro.
Exactly.
They don't, especially like women in my life have always given me kind of the same. It's like a funny quip. If you're not fucking me, feeding me, or financing me, I don't care what your opinion is, right? So women don't give a fuck what guys say to them. Like you can bring them on your camera and you can, dunk on them and whatever. You're not helping solve the issue. And then other women, when they see that, they're just going to side with the woman anyway. So when you have women
don't want to solve problems.
right? Well, 100%. They're not trying to solve anything. What they're trying to do is, fucking protect someone they think is being victimized, right?
All the women that go on whatever
Yeah.
podcast are just there for promotion anyway.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they go on there and they get fucking
In one way
dunked
or
on, and
another.
they either like cry and leave or they argue back, right?
And then they get another 10,000 subs
Same
on their
shit that they
OnlyFans.
do when they're good.
Right. Yeah. No shit. Yeah. But when you have women talking to women, they're gonna listen to them at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, gonna give them at least some element of like, this is someone that I could listen to versus evil man, bad, fuck you, fuck the patriarchy kind of shit. It just it seems very
Rude.
counterproductive. What's up, Emmett?
Rude. You know that there would be a. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, hello. How you doing?
What's up, dude?
I just here. I think I got you some good prompts.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening. I don't know how you got to the red pill debate, but
Yeah.
first of
Things
things
go
are
all over the place.
that you can consider red pill like fresh and fit.
Yeah. I'm
Fresh and fit is what brought me here.
See, I never really listened to them a lot. It was just
I didn't either. It was just something that came on in the background.
that kind of
Myron's
content.
gay,
Just,
though.
it never really got me. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just not something that
Myron's kind of gay. Rude.
Fuck yeah.
Really?
You see the photos of him laying in beds with his homie and shit, and fucking
that's gross.
at festivals cuddling up to his bros. Yeah, he's kind of gay.
Alright.
I mean, Myron is pretty gay.
I think a lot of younger women may see this and be like, I don't want to be like that 304, even if it's a few, it's a good thing. Same with young men. If there's no counter, imagine where we'd be with no pushback at all. No thanks.
Oh yeah, Rude. I was going to say to you earlier, there'd be a whole bunch of people that love that podcast. They'd be like, well, what about the episodes or the people that aren't OnlyFans?
It's fair.
Yeah.
What are they there for? I know the answer to that question. Do you? Okay, what kind of promotion?
Oh, it depends what they're there for. You have people like Erudite, who's not on OnlyFans, but she's a streamer. Like
Yeah,
Destiny.
okay, so fine. Nothing that would require fans and nothing that would require an audience. What are those women there for?
Clout?
I don't know.
What kind of clout?
I don't know.
I said nothing. Clout would require you to have something with an audience that would include, thing where you're looking for a bunch of people. No, I mean it's pretty simple. Okay, every single woman that walks off with someone in their DMs that will pay for all their shit. Every single one of them.
Fair.
Every single one of them, including I guarantee you, Gorlock the fucking Destroyer. Guaranteed.
That's disgusting.
So basically a fan.
I know it's disgusting. Just a lonely fan.
Yeah.
and literally an
Daddy or
only
some
fan.
bullshit.
It's possible
literally
because
an
of
only
modern
fan.
travel that it encouraged degeneracy because you can always act however and then just pick up and move on. Used to, you were stuck for the most part wherever you were. Yeah, dude, that's definitely one thing, bro. You're not lying. You're not lying for sure. Because you can't run from you. You know what I mean? Like you can pick up and go somewhere else, but you're not running from you.
I don't know. Your reputation can kind of follow you everywhere these days.
Yeah,
With the internet and shit.
A lot of people who will go to their OF or hub are doing it already anyway. Yep, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
What if you run faster than your reputation?
Can you run faster than the internet? If you move. Yeah, if you move and then like stay off socials and shit. Probably.
Yeah.
I've never had social media.
Social media these days, man. It's crazy.
I've never had social media. Not since MySpace.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, OnlyFans is such a fucking destruction to society, bro. It's terrible.
Emmett, give me some feminist ideologies so I can shit on them and show you how I disagree real quick.
I don't know. Talk.
Just
say something.
Just say something.
Yeah, something you believe in.
Something I believe in.
Yeah.
I don't really think I function on beliefs. I don't
So you don't function on beliefs?
Yeah, I don't. Like if I'm commenting on something.
Hey, Root Crab, do you believe that? Root Crab, do you believe that? Do you believe that?
If I know that, is it a belief?
No. What you just said. What you just said. Do you
care about a lot of these things? I don't care about them at all.
Do you believe that you don't care?
Well, then why?
I know you guys.
Come on, Root Crab. You walked yourself into the corner. You walked yourself into the corner.
You guys live your life functioning on a belief. So
you know everything, right? Root?
Whoa there, Root. Hold on.
I don't know.
Root Crab, do you believe that? Do you believe that I function on my beliefs?
I know you do.
No, you don't. You can't possibly know a thing. How do you know a thing, Rude? Come on. Let's go, Mr. Expert. How do you know a thing?
I
How
theorize
can you
it.
presuppose that you know that?
I
Oh, so you don't know it. So you don't.
It's a theory.
You don't know it.
I made my hypothesis, you know, and since my hypothesis is different from my belief,
You know, like what I'm saying is I don't actually give a fuck about these things. I just like I'll critique it
And Root
based
Crab,
on
most of them, I don't either.
I'll just extrapolate logic around it and I'll just critique that. I don't actually give a fuck about any of it.
Yeah, so
well,
you're what's known as a pussy.
at this one.
Why?
Why?
It's worse than a
Why is
feminist.
it-
At least a
why is
feminist
it- why
fights
is
for
it
what they
pussy?
believe in.
Because you
Like I
have
just
to
told you.
function on belief. It's a
I have
Yeah.
I have things that I believe in, I guess.
No.
And I
Because
will
if you
fight for that.
yeah,
But I don't give a
There
fuck
you
about
go.
feminist
I just
bullshit or
just ask what
Thank
you
you.
believed in, and you said I don't have any belief.
yeah. I don't function on belief, I don't think. I don't know.
I think you could have just stopped after function.
I function well.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Can you give me
Hey, do you
can
believe?
give me
Hey,
an
do you
example?
believe that you function well, Rude? Do you believe that? You
No, I
function
know.
well?
It's very evident.
Can you demonstrate that for me?
The results demonstrate themselves, and I can't show you the results.
No, they
unfortunately.
don't. No, they don't. That's not how logic works. Oh man.
No, but I don't think women should be in the military. I think that's retarded. Not even as
It's so
medics, bro.
stupid.
Not even as medics.
What about its
I
nurses?
think women should be kept in cages.
I don't think they should be in cages because
I think they
that's
should have a
just
chain that goes
too
as
much
far as
room.
functions. Like
I
from
love how you
the-
just said that you couldn't even put up an argument for why women shouldn't be kept in cages. You just said ick. That's
No, I said
literally
that
what you just did.
I said because there's too much room.
Oh,
I don't
because
think it
there's
should be
too
in a
much
cage.
room. Okay, yeah, that's even better. That's even better.
Maybe a box.
So I call that town hall meeting. We're gonna put women in cages now, right? Hear you.
All who agree say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No, cages,
Aye.
boxes.
There we go.
I don't want a cage, I want a box.
Box.
Think of like a refrigerator, but it's a glory hole.
But if we're putting women in cages, what do we do with like the Ryans of the world? Because there's a lot of them.
Surely someone would want him in a cage.
But do we really waste the raw material?
That dude gives me the feeling that like whatever
Every boat
girlfriend
needs an
or
anchor.
whatever girlfriend or wife he's gonna have is gonna walk him around the apartment with a collar and a leash on.
Well, he's gonna do it proudly too. He's gonna actually ask her to do that. He's
Because
gonna
he's
request
empowering
it.
women, right? He wants to
Yeah,
empower
yeah.
those women. You know?
He's probably a real savage and a real sicko in real life, and the online thing's just like kind of to cover that up.
Yeah, that makes.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes complete sense, bro.
I'm just
Yeah.
fucking around. I don't think that at all.
Yeah. No.
Well,
Hey,
I mean,
you
bro,
heard
it makes
first. Rude thinks that. No, Rude, we've all heard it here. Rude thinks that Ryan's a hard ass. He thinks he's a real man.
Is that what real men do?
Oh no, you tell me, bitch.
That's not what I said. I never said he was a real man. That was your claim.
And this is what you.
That was your
No, you
claim.
basically said that. No. I followed it to its logical conclusion, which is that you wanted his cock in your mouth. And now I'm asserting it because I feel like it.
You straw man, you steel
Yeah,
man,
Mil's a
right?
real man. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Nailed
logically sound. Even Emmett agrees. You know, Emmett wouldn't be biased.
He is. He's biased.
I know.
I'm
That's
usually
awful.
the least biased person.
You're non-binary, aren't you?
No, but we're talking about Rude Crab. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
even with root crab, I'm not. When I was talking
Wait,
to
are
him,
you non-binary?
I call him a feminist.
Yeah, he
He
is.
still can't.
That's
Emmett,
non-binary.
Emmett, are you non-binary?
Get over it. Huh?
Emmett, are you non-binary?
Yeah, I am. I'm also
Oh
an
my
incel,
God.
and you
You
can
know,
call
non-binary
me.
doesn't exist. It makes no logical sense because saying you're
I know. I'm
non-binary
like,
acknowledges
But I
that there's
believe
two
that,
binary
dude,
data points, and when you
dude, but
throw a non-binary
dude,
out
you
there, you're
know,
creating three, so you're
dude,
eliminating the existence of yourself
I
altogether.
believe the
Anyway,
thing. You realize it's like you believe that you know everything. I believe that I'm non-binary.
don't
We're
I
both the
acknowledge
same.
that I know fuck all.
hey, Emmett. What does bi mean? Like bi?
Bi, it means that
Mhm.
probably. Well, it depends. It usually
Oh my
refers
God.
to liking both sexes.
It means two,
No. It means two. That's what bi
Okay,
means. Definition. Bi means two.
like
all right, makes sense.
bicycle,
That's where
binary,
binary comes from. Bisexual,
binoculars.
yeah. Bicycle. Bi Ukraine. Oh wait, sorry, that was a fantasy. No.
That's based, bro. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to catch a nap, dude, before I
Me
kick
too.
this thing off. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Thanks for the raids, man. Y'all, please, bro, have a great night. God bless. Hope to see y'all soon. Thanks for stopping in.
Rude's a bitch.
God bless, Martha.
Peace.
Moon's a bitch.